Welcome everybody back to the Hannahcast YouTube channel, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different where we discuss your Oscar predictions. I want to see if this does well, if there's enough viewers and whatnot. I might try to do this more often, like trying to do more live streams and stuff. But yeah, guys, let me know how everything's going right now. Hold on, let me just check this real quick. Hold on, let me just do this. Boop. All right. Yeah, so the latency is really good and stuff, like to where I can talk to you guys, and yeah, man, like the Oscars are coming up, or at least Oscar season is coming up, and man, there's so much going on right now, uh, like I think next month they're gonna announce the nominees for the Golden Globes and stuff, and then we're gonna get Critics' Choice that month, and then also shortlists, and also right before the Golden Globes, I'm gonna be collabing with someone who you guys in the Oscar community might know, so that's gonna be fun. I guess I might as well give not go too much into detail right now, but right now just sort of going into what's the thing I'm trying to say, trying to go over some of my Oscar predictions and whatnot, uh and yeah, and also I got this new thing where I can highlight your message like this was like a little test, and I can even put it over here and stuff. So yeah, yeah, if I deem your comment worthy, I will highlight it here. And like I said, we're gonna be talking about some of your Oscar predictions. But before we do that, just so that we can get some more viewers here, I'm gonna talk about some of mine. I still have these as my 10 for Best Picture. Actually, nothing has really changed since the last video, so there is that. Director, once again, nothing's changed. I think this is the top 5 and stuff. Lead actor, same. Lead actress, same. Other than actually no, I did put down Natalie Portman because I'm starting to feel less passion or something like that for Natalie Portman. Or at the very least, May December. Granted, May December hasn't come out yet on Netflix, but it's I don't know. The more I start thinking about it, the more I'm thinking it's not really uh, an Oscar friendly movie. Oh wow, we have 4 viewers right now. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, it's just not showing up right now. All right. But yeah. Regardless, yeah, and also a little bit of an update. The SAG-AFTRA strike is over, or at least right now. I mean, so apparently a lot of SAG-AFTRA members are saying that the AI guardrails aren't very good. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. Obviously, I am in support of the actors and stuff, so there is that. Uh, yeah. I don't yeah. So, but yeah. What was actually what was I about to say? Oh yeah, but right now I'm still thinking Kaylee Spaney may actually. Oh, wait, who is this? The Oscar prospector. Wait, okay, hold on. What is going on with my like? What is going on? So for some reason, no one else's comment so for some reason it works. It's working on my comments, but why is it not working on everyone else's comments? Hold on, let me try to fix this. Oh, someone's at the door. Probably dropping off a package or something. Hold on, let me just do one more test to see if this works. Huh. Hold on a second. Yeah, start. Hold on, guys. Just give me a second. Oh man, this is just not. Let me try this. What if this worked? What if I did this? Yeah. Oscar Prospector says, I'd make fun of you, but I sure as hell ain't better with technology. Haha, those things are impossible to work out, don't you think? I literally just tried this out last night. Or at least, tried to, I got this stuff last night, so it's kind of weird. Oh, yeah, that's not working either. Let me try. It says YouTube URL. Maybe I should just try my channel. Let me try that. Ah, oh no. Let me try this. Oh, it's the live stream URL. Let me. Oh, hold on. I should be getting it. Hopefully. All right, here we go. Yeah, let me All right, finally. All right, got it. Awesome. Hold on. Let me just change the design of this real quick. All right, there we go. There we go. All right. All right, Oscar Prospector says, it baffles me that these kids haven't caught up with The Boys in the Boat yet. That thing is coming straight for Oscar Gold, and these pundits are just ignoring it. To be fair, George Clooney's also very hit or miss with his directing. He's like Clint Eastwood. And I get, there could be a path, there could be a path for this to be like, whoa, what in the world? This is absolutely crazy. In terms of, it getting in, but also you have to keep in mind, because I get where you're going at. You're going with the American Sniper route, but the problem with The Boys in the Boat is that with American Sniper, the problem is that American Sniper was and I remember this, I remember when this movie was coming out. This was maybe one of the most hyped up dramas I had ever that I'd ever witnessed. It's oh wait, hold on. Let me go back to Best Picture here. It was American Sniper was so hyped up in the commercials. Everyone was like, "Oh my god!" So many, and even old boomers wouldn't shut up about that movie, and it made so much money. That was insane, and that no one was expecting it. No one was expecting American Sniper around maybe, I don't know, let's say October or something like that, or November. But it's it was that just sudden, bam, that sudden hype for that film. And I don't know if The Boys in the Boat is I don't know if The Boys in the Boat is gonna be like that. I think, because there's nothing really there's not a reason for this movie to happen. So that there is that. Matt Pat is coming for Best Supporting Actor. Okay, to be fair, Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't his fault, alright? he did fine for the role he was given. It's just the lines were just awful. It's just the lines that I thought were terrible. It wasn't his fault. Let's see. Have you ever heard of the rumors about the stunt Oscar? I mean, it's not really rumors necessarily. It's more so like they're trying to figure out a way to do the stunt Oscar. And I do think obviously they're not going to be able to do it by this year. So like you're not gonna this stuff takes time. And I probably, if they were to announce it, they probably wouldn't be able to do it until like maybe a couple years from now. But they should have a best stunt Oscar, to be honest. They should have that because, uh, they should have that because stunts should be they should be honored. And I don't agree with the whole sentiment of, oh well, stunt actors or like stunt performers are just gonna do more dangerous things just to win Oscars. I don't really buy that. Really, it's like they're professionals. They're not stupid. Like they're not jackass. They're professionals. It's like that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, like, I do feel like there is going to be a time, probably within maybe the next 5 years or so, but then again, I don't know, maybe I'm being just silly, where we'll see a best stunt, coordination Oscar. And I think that's also how you would honor it. It's like, who gets the Oscar? Well, I would say the stunt coordinator gets the, Oscar. So there is that. Uh, the Oscar prospector says, The Boys in the Boat has all the reason to happen. It has a true feel-good American story about people that people need right now. The Oscars can't resist World War II. They can't. I mean, true, but it's also not really a World War, like, it's hard to really explain. Like, and in terms of, like, that true feel-good American story that people need right now, I don't know. Like, let me look at what we have. Like, I think maybe, like, Air is kind of already, like, a feel-good American story. I mean, granted, it's not World War II, but it's, like, that's a feel-good film. But again, I just don't know. Like I said, like, comparing The Boys in the Boat to American Sniper, which, granted, you're not really necessarily doing that. Like, that's just kind of like but that's sort of the thought process I have when it comes to people predicting that film right now. I'm not saying it's impossible that it can happen, but right now, I don't know. Especially with the crowd that we're seeing right now, like, it's kind of nuts. Like, I don't even have The Color Purple or Anatomy of a Fall in right now. So there is that. Krusty for Life says, yeah, plus the Oscars isn't as important nowadays to the point where people will risk their lives for one. I wouldn't even necessarily say it's that, because, like, if you're someone in Hollywood, you want to win an Oscar, because, like, you're being honored by your peers. It maybe like, a lot of general audiences don't really care about the Oscars anymore, but I'd say that's more so, about... Like, that's more so about where live TV is nowadays, or not even just live TV, but it's just like, I don't really hear about people really, like, screaming about America's Got Talent anymore, or whatever. It's like, I think that era of, and I know there is some stuff about, like, Dancing with the Stars, but even then, I don't think that's anywhere near as big as it used to be. It's like, live TV in general is just not really appealing to people anymore, so I think that's really that, but, yeah. Pranks and Cats says, I watched the Holdovers yesterday. I love it, but it doesn't seem like a Best Picture winner. I mean, it could be. Also, you know what? This is also something I do want to bring up when it comes to my Oscar predictions. I now think Poor Things is just not gonna happen. Or at least in terms of winning. Obviously, it's going to get nominated everywhere, but I do not see it winning. And the reason why I don't see... I don't really see, I don't really see how Poor Things could happen, because I watched the Oscar Experts video the other day, and I'm not saying I agree with everything that was being said. Like, for example, I still do not see Oppenheimer getting nominated for visual effects, even though I do agree with the sentiment that if it were to be nominated, it would win, but the nomination is going to be way harder to get than the actual win. But regardless, Poor Things... Like, they mentioned that ever since these guilds came out, you don't win Best Picture if you don't win at least one of these: Producers Guild, Writers Guild, Directors Guild, SAG Ensemble. And they said that and they mentioned that it might be like it might not win any one of these. And it's like, oh my god, because it's true. Like, Poor Things isn't going to win any of those. It's not going to be eligible for Writers Guild. It's not going to be nominated for SAG Ensemble. And the reason why I don't think Poor Things is getting nominated for SAG Ensemble is because, what's the word I'm looking for? With SAG Ensemble, like, The Favorite couldn't even get nominated, and that had an easy 3-actor nomination tally. Like, it was like Olivia Colman, that was easy. Emma Stone, that was easy. Rachel Weisz, that's easy. That was an easy 3 to put into the acting race. Poor Things is going to be a lot harder. Like, yeah, obviously Emma Stone's going to get in. There's a pretty good chance that Mark Ruffalo gets in. But Willem Dafoe, I'm not sure. And he could get in, but the fact that it's a question that if he's going to get in is kind of a red flag. That's kind of a red flag to me, because if The Favorite couldn't get into SAG Ensemble, despite it being very clear that it was going to get all 3 of the nominations that it was supposed to get, and if Poor Things is looking to be a weaker contender, why would it get nominated? So it's not going to win SAG Ensemble either, much less get nominated. It's not going to win Directors Guild, because that's going to go to Christopher Nolan in a handbasket. And now we're left with Producers Guild, and even I don't think they would go with Poor Things, because they could go with the sweeper that would maybe be Oppenheimer. They might go for the holdovers, or they might go with Barbie. Because Barbie, I kind of realized Barbie may have a shot at winning Best Picture. Because, obviously, yeah, Directors Guild is not happening. It might win Writers Guild, which granted we won't know until after the Oscars. I'm thinking it wins SAG Ensemble. And if there's one thing that the Producers Guild really likes, it likes feel-good movies that have a great message and are also like big success stories. That's Barbie. So, I can't believe I'm saying this, because I never would have... I thought it was initially a challenge for this film to get nominated for Best Picture. But now that I think about it, right now I have it at number 3, but there is a legitimate path for Barbie to get into to win Best Picture. There is a path. So, it might actually end up literally being Barbenheimer, like a Barbenheimer clash at the Oscars next year, which is kind of crazy. Poor Things is this year's The Favorite. It might do even worse than The Favorite. I mean, there is a chance Emma Stone wins lead actress. That could definitely happen. But, however, it's not a guarantee. But also, Olivia Colman was also not really a guarantee. So, I don't know. It's kind of tough. But, there is a good chance Poor Things might win nothing. All I'm going to say is that you don't have to be worrying about The Color Purple getting in. We'll have to see. I mean, I think reactions are coming on Thursday. Emma Stone doesn't seem like a winner because she doesn't have a narrative it's a very weird performance. Maybe, again, I have not seen Poor Things. There doesn't always have to be a narrative. I mean, Anthony Hopkins won for The Father, and Frances McDormand won for Nomadland, but at the same time, I don't know, you can make an argument that with Anthony Hopkins, like, when people started really discovering that film, people were saying, oh, he's unequivocally giving the best performance of the year. Like, everything was going to Chadwick Boseman, but that's because apparently a lot of them hadn't seen The Father yet. Enough of them had seen The Father to get Hopkins nominated, but not enough to actually have him win. So, with Anthony Hopkins, it's like, oh, wait, people started seeing The Father, and it's like, oh my god, he's actually giving the best performance of the year. But I don't know. I do agree that Emma Stone. I don't know if Emma Stone seems like a winner, but again, that's just me saying I've not seen. Admitting I've not seen the movie, so I can't really say. But Emma Stone is gonna win, but yeah, Emma Stone's gonna win the Oscar like Olivia Colman did. I don't know. Like, it is tough because let's look at Best Actress right here. All right, this is honest. This might be a 3-horse race. This might be between Lily Gladstone, Emma Stone, and Carey Mulligan. Because I've been seeing a lot of people buzzing about Carey Mulligan, which it would be weird because I'm already predicting Bradley Cooper to win for lead to win lead actor. If Carey Mulligan wins lead actress, that would be very weird for Bradley Cooper to not get a directing nomination. But at the same time, the directing lineup is so tough. Someone's going to have to go. And already we're going to see, a lot of backlash because I don't think Celine Song or Greta Gerwig are going to get in. And it's just like, it is a really tough year this year. So I don't really know if Emma Stone is going to win like Olivia Colman did. I think there's a lot more competition in terms of just the overall nominees. Like Banshees last year, Poor Things winning 0. That's what I'm thinking. Best Actor, say my top 5. I agree with you. Yeah, I think this is probably about as close as you can. This is about as easy of a 5 you can get. Sandra Huller is the best performance of the year. Clapping hands. Like I do want to see. I do want to see Anatomy of a Fall, but the problem, I don't know. It's still a murder mystery. It's still a murder mystery, and that's why I've been really wary about this film. The Oscars really do not like murder mysteries. They didn't even nominate Decision to Leave in international feature. That's like the bare minimum they could have given to Decision to Leave, and they didn't do that. They did, and again, they even snubbed Gone Girl, despite the fact that that Gone Girl got everything it needed. Golden Globe, Critics' Choice, BAFTA, Writers Guild. It got everything, and it didn't get the Oscar nomination. I put Triet in over Glazer, like what happened with Ruben Östlund over Berger. I would say that's exactly the exact opposite logic. Like, Jonathan Glazer is Jonathan Glazer is the established auteur, and Justine Triet is the one who's starting out. I mean, obviously she's done some stuff, but it's like the zone of interest. Like, Jonathan Glazer is more established than she is. So I don't think she, even if Anatomy of a Fall were to get best picture nomination, I don't think she gets director. I don't think she gets director. And also, I would also say she might even get the BAFTA because the jury might save her. But that's the weird thing about BAFTA. You have to be careful with BAFTA because someone could get jury saved, and it might not be who you think. Krusty for Life says, I feel like there's going to be an upset in one of the categories considered locked up, though I don't know whose place gets swapped. I mean, it depends on what category you're talking about, because I don't think lead actor is going anywhere. I would even bet that this is the SAG 5. BAFTA might do some things differently, obviously. Golden Globes will definitely split these performances up. But overall, I think this will be the SAG 5 and will ultimately be the Oscar 5. Because, like, all of these movies, like, because I get why Paul Mescal for After Sun didn't get in. I understand why he didn't get in, because, or at least why he didn't get in at SAG, because After Sun was not really a SAG-friendly movie, whereas something like Hustle was, and it was a lot more accessible. So there is that. I'm saying Lily because, for example, if she wins SAG, then the Oscar voting starts. If she gives an amazing speech, then she could win. Again, she could have. I do think she wins Best Lead Actress. Although at the same time, I have seen the movie, and I can see where people are coming from. Where they say that she does not have a lot of screen time. But will this be one of those things where it's like the quality over quantity? Like, she's not in a lot of the movie, but whenever she is, like, she's just dominating the screen. Like that's what the question will be. 100% Payne and Scorsese get in both because they both got nominated in the Oscars, 2012 Oscars and 2014 Oscars. I don't think that's the reason. I just think that, like, I don't think that's the reason. I just think they get in because, like, their films are pretty big up in Best Picture. And like, yeah, yeah. Also, this is okay, like this is tough. And like I said, I do also have tech categories up. Let's talk about, actually, let's go about these categories one by one. All right, how about that? Let's go about these categories one by one. What are you guys' predictions for Best Picture? Like, what are your 10 in for Best Picture right now? Hmm? BAFTA will snub. Wait, hold on a second. BAFTA will snub Cooper, Domingo, and Giamatti, and one of them has to get snubbed for Jeffrey Wright. Ooh, I don't. Ooh, saying that Cooper gets snubbed, especially if he's like number one. I mean, I'm not saying that's impossible. It all depends on what the jury on what the jury rule, because like they literally change the jury rules every single year, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, it's like, who knows what they'll do? Because like I think last year was like the jury picked like one out of the six acting nominations, and it was kind of clear who was the who was the jury save. That's really tough. So I don't know. Marstro. Maybe Domingo gets snubbed at the BAFTAs. I would not put that past the BAFTAs because what is it? Domingo Coleman, like Rustin is a very American movie, and for the most part, the BAFTAs, especially nowadays, don't really care about really care about American stories. Krusty for Life says Oppenheimer. Pranks and Cats says Oppenheimer. Pranks and Cats says number two is Killers of the Flower Moon. Wow, you're putting that number two. Like, man, in all honesty, I don't really see a path for this thing to win Best Picture. I just don't see a path for Killers of the Flower Moon to win Best Picture. But I do agree that Oppenheimer is right now like the front runner to beat. And the thing is, people are still not sick of it. That's the crazy thing. People are still not sick of Oppenheimer. Like, it's coming out on digital, and already I'm seeing a bunch of people posting like clips of like, oh man, this scene was amazing in Oppenheimer. This performance was great in Oppenheimer. People are not sick of this movie. People are still talking about it. Oppenheimer is this year's Everything Everywhere All at Once. In a sense, I mean, obviously it's not making you feel good. I mean, I don't really think you could make a story about the nuclear bomb and have it be a feel-good romp. But, it could very well be that unstoppable thing. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Barbie recently came out on digital or something like that. Yeah, I think it did. And people were not talking about that anywhere near as much as Oppenheimer. People were not talking about that anywhere near as much as Oppenheimer. So you'd be, the Oscar prospector says you'd be surprised there are people who are definitely getting sick of Oppenheimer, and they'll be more vocal on the final months of the season. I don't know about that. I mean, there probably are people who don't like Oppenheimer all that much. But the problem I see is that it's not suffering from like the same problems that The Power of the Dog and Roma suffered from. Like, it's not really even like that, because those two movies were like very cold in a way where it's like very emotionally ambiguous. You feel bad coming out of Oppenheimer, but you at least know you feel bad. And it's like, it's also, I haven't even really seen anybody really call it boring, because like it's just like, that movie just moves at 1,000,000 miles per second. Like it is going. Darius says I put Oppenheimer at number 1 too. Same. Spider-Verse. Look, if there's a way Maybe but I don't know. Critics' Choice would need to save Spider-Verse, and if it gets if it gets Critics' Choice, that's a really good sign, and I don't think it would just be RRR, because this is way more big mainstream than RRR ever was, and especially if it gets Producers Guild, then yeah, then I'll put it back in. But right now, Spider-Verse, God, like if they don't nominate, if the Oscars don't nominate Spider-Verse for Best Picture, I will never predict an animated movie for Best Picture ever again. I will never do it again, because it's like, clearly, if Spider-Verse, one of the best animated films of the decade, is not going to get nominated for Best Picture, then why would they go for anything else? Like, Guillermo del Toro couldn't do it, even though, granted, I didn't do it either in my Hannahcast awards, but whatever. But Spider-Verse is better. If Spider-Verse can't do it, then nothing, like, no animated movie will ever do it, and it's just like, Toy Story will be the last one, Toy Story 3 will be the last one to ever do it, so, yeah. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is this year's Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Oh, man. And it might even do worse, because obviously the BAFTAs aren't going to go crazy over this. Krusty for Life says, number 1, Oppenheimer, 2, Poor Things, 3, Holdovers, 4, Killers of the Flower Moon, 5, Barbie, 6, The Zone of Interest, 7, American Fiction, number 8, The Color Purple, Past Lives, number 9, and number 10, Across the Spider-Verse. Aw, man. Oh man, that's good. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Killers of the Flower Moon, Holdovers, Barbie, Maestro, Zone of Interest, American Fiction, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall. I think we're gonna have a rude awakening when it comes to Anatomy of a Fall. I genuinely think the murder mystery genre is gonna bite that film in the ass. I honestly think that's gonna happen. But yeah. It's not a complete story. They might just wait until the final film in the trilogy, Hold Your Horses, Kid. I mean, look. I mean, they didn't, they still nominated all 3 Lord of the Rings movies for Best Picture. They nominated all 3 Godfather movies for Best Picture. It's like, and even then, I don't know, like, it's just, like, literally, it's just that good. It's like, it deserves a Best Picture nomination. It's just like, I think really more so with the hurdles that it's facing is that it's animated. It is, it's animated. It's a superhero movie and it's a sequel. Like that, like those are the major hurdles that the film has to face. My others are Barbie, Poor Things, Holdovers, Maestro, American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Past Lives, Color Purple. I need to see what the Color Purple is. Is the Color Purple gonna be a thing, or is it gonna be a myth? Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's why I'm really excited to see how these reactions are. I'm really excited to see what these reactions are like, or what they're gonna be like. But yeah, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be kind of crazy. I think Across the Spider-Verse has better chances than people are saying it does. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely a chance it gets snubbed. But I think it's strong in 3 categories. And we could probably, and like I said, we will go through some, like, all these categories. Like, I got a bunch of categories: picture, director, all the acting categories, screenplay, the text, and I got animated feature and international feature. I'm still not, like, I still have no idea what to do with documentary, and I'm especially not going to try to predict any short films until the short lists come out. Like, good God. But yeah, let's see. Hopefully I got 9 out of 10 for Best Picture. I think this is probably going to be a pretty predictable Oscars Best Picture race, to be honest. At least in terms of who's nominated. And it could get into sound and maybe screenplay and song. Hey, that's what I've been saying. If it's going to be in Best Picture, it needs sound, screenplay, and either score or song. It could be one of those two. That's the pack, because, like, Toy Story 3 got, it got screenplay, it got sound edited, it got adapted screenplay, sound editing, and it won original song, and then Up got an original screenplay, sound editing, and it won original score. So there is that. Best Picture, Gotenheimer. Okay, yeah, that's Oppenheimer. Poor Things, The Holdovers, Killers, Barbie, American Fiction, Maestro, Zone of Interest. Stranger. Wait, all are you talking about All of Us Strangers? Oh man, that's just not happening. I do not think All of Us Strangers is happening. Like that is just going to be goose egged on Oscar morning. That is going to be goose egged, my guy. The Planet of the Apes should win visual effects next year. I don't know. You also have Dune Part 2. You also have Dune Part 2 coming out that year. So Planet of the Apes is one. We go already next year. We have three very strong contenders in visual effects. It's looking so far better than it did this year because we got Dune Part 2, we got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and we got Mufasa the Lion King. And I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, really going to predict that? The first Lion King got nominated, and it probably could have won if it was just the visual effects branch, voting, because it won the most awards of the Visual Effects Society with Outstanding Visual Effects in a Photoreal Feature, which is the top prize, Outstanding Virtual Cinematography in a CG Project, and Outstanding, Outstanding Created Environment in a Photoreal Feature for the Pride Lands. So, Mufasa is going to be a pretty big contender next year. Let's see. It's sad that they never win. Yeah, the Planet of the Apes movies, my god, the Planet of the Apes movies always get screwed over. It's kind of funny at this point. Because, I caught on to it when War for the Planet of the Apes came out. I was like, no, I'm not predicting War for the Planet of the Apes. I'm predicting Blade Runner because they never go with the Planet of the Apes movies. And sure enough, they went with Blade Runner. God, I wish I knew about Oscar, betting back then because I would have won some money off of Blade Runner winning. I would have won some money. But yeah, so that's what we got for Best Picture. All right. Let's talk about Best Director. I think this is our... Now, maybe there is a path for maybe Bradley Cooper to get in, or Celine Song, or Greta Gerwig. But someone's going to have to get snubbed that no one wants to have snubbed, and it could be Martin Scorsese. Because I don't know if there's an overwhelming passion for Killers of the Flower Moon. And also, I mean, obviously there is enough for, nominations and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. They will snub the unsnubbable. There are directors that you think, oh, well, they would never snub Christopher Nolan for Inception, and they did that. They would never snub, what was that called? What was it? Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2. No, for Dune. And, oh, God, wait, hold on, what is this? Please no Nolan gets snubbed. Don't jinx it, Daria. Don't jinx that. This is Christopher Nolan's time to win, and if he does not win, I will be sad, and if he doesn't even get nominated, I will be furious. You will see this on the channel. I will flip out even more than the film drunk when Babylon lost Best Original Score. Alright? That's just gonna happen. You're gonna see me do not put that in the air. I need this to win. I wasn't all into Everything Everywhere All at Once. I wasn't really, the Daniels wouldn't have been my pick to win. I wouldn't have even nominated them. But, you can have the Daniels. You can have the Daniels if I get to have Christopher Nolan this year, alright? I need this. I need Christopher Nolan. I need this to happen. So, yeah. Marty isn't going to get snubbed for Cooper. I mean, again, it really depends on where the race goes. Because, it's not impossible that, for... The only reason why I'm thinking maybe Bradley Cooper could get in is, if Carey Mulligan turns out to be a frontrunner and lead actress. And and apparently, whenever there's two leading actors, that win... most of the time, the director gets nominated for director as well. And it would be very strange for Bradley Cooper to miss if both he and Carey Mulligan are winning lead actress. The one reason I think The Lion King lost was because people felt the realism affected the emotion of the characters plus Best Picture bias. It absolutely was Best Picture bias. Don't get me wrong. That was the reason. Because if you're in Best Picture and you're in visual effects, you win. And one could make the argument that, well, I mean, what about The Irishman? Well, it's like 1917 was just a bigger competitor overall, and it wasn't like an Avatar situation where it's like, Avatar 2, it was a clean sweep. There was no question about it. And even though it really shouldn't have been a question over The Lion King or The Irishman, the fact of the matter is that it was like literally the winners were everywhere. Avengers Endgame won Critics' Choice. The Lion King won the top prize at Visual Effects Society. The Irishman beat 1917 at the Visual Effects Society for supporting visual effects, and then 1917 won the BAFTA. So it's like, well, and then the Oscars just went, you know what, we'll just pick our favorite movie in visual effects. That's not a good reason, but I think that's the reason. I think Scorsese is more win competitive than Glazer. It really depends. Again, I'm predicting Glazer over Scorsese because I just think he's like this. This is absolutely this is absolutely like a director's branch thing, and I'm even expecting like Jonathan Glazer to maybe only make it into BAFTA, but even then that's a little bit of a question now with the jury. Like, he's not going to get into the Golden Globes, he's not going to get into Critics' Choice, he's not going to get into, and like, there's something, like, this is something I do want to preface this when it comes to international films and Best Picture. Do not expect The Zone of Interest or even Anatomy of a Fall to make a big splash until BAFTA. Because unless your international film is directed by a superstar international director, like Alfonso Cuarón or Bong Joon-ho, like, you're only going to show up at BAFTA and no other real precursors. Because, like Jonathan Glazer is well known enough by the director's branch for them to nominate him, but, like, everyone knows Alfonso Cuarón. Like, he directed a Harry Potter movie, for God's sakes. So, everyone knows who he is. Everyone knows who Bong Joon-ho is. Even if he's not as well known as, like, Alfonso Cuarón, more people knew about Bong Joon-ho than Jonathan Glazer. Okay, the last time Martin Scorsese was snubbed for director was in 1977. Nice try. Hey, look, I'm just weighing the options. Again, the unthinkable can happen in director. None of us thought, like, Denis Villeneuve was going to get snubbed. That's all I'm saying. Also, for some reason, people are denying Payne is dumb. He got in for every single Oscar movie, and this is like his best directed movie, and it's like top 5 to win. I would agree that he is squarely in. Like, he is squarely into The Holdovers. If for nothing else, this is his most showy directing. Like, at least from what it looks. I have not seen The Holdovers yet. I really want to. But yeah. We have only 3.5 months until your favorite director wins. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping. This will probably, if Christopher Nolan wins Best Director, this will be my favorite Oscar win ever. Honestly. Because Christopher Nolan should have multiple Oscars on his mantle by now. Like, I would give him Best Director for almost everything he's done since, like, The Dark Knight. Including The Dark Knight. It's like, it's insane. It's insane. And he, like, man. I hope that happens. I hope he wins. I'm thinking he wins. But yeah, since it looks like we've gotten past director, let's go into lead actor. Once again, I think this is our 5. I think this is our 5 for lead actor. Man, I would like for Coleman Domingo. I mean, Cillian Murphy to win. I would like for Cillian Murphy to win, but I think they might just go with Bradley Cooper for the more. I have seen 2 movies contending for original screenplay: The Holdovers and Saltburn, both incredible movies, and I think Holdovers can win supporting actress and screenplay. Hey, that's why I have Holdovers at number 2, because if it can win screenplay, like original screenplay, and supporting actress, that's a good package for Best Picture. And from what I've been hearing, it's a good, really good, heartwarming film that could and it could end up being that film that that Oscar voters will want to go to instead of Oppenheimer. If we are assuming that people do get sick of Oppenheimer, which again we'll have to see how that plays out. Um, but yeah, I think Bradley Cooper's performance is just a little bit more baity, or is going to end up being more baity than Cillian Murphy. Coleman Domingo, I know some people are saying he wins, but I don't see Coleman Domingo winning unless the film is in Best Picture. And I know the Whale won, like Brendan Fraser just won, but like that. This is not the same thing. Like we want, seeing Brendan Fraser's story and seeing that performance, and him getting up on stage and crying and stuff. Everyone this needs to happen. Like Brendan Fraser needs to win lead actor. There's not really a lot there for Coleman Domingo, so I don't think he wins without lead actor, without a Best Picture nomination. Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, is going to get in for Killers of the Flower Moon, and obviously Holdover, and Paul Giamatti for the Holdovers. Again, I just think this is going to be an unshakable 5. They're just these are just going to be the ones that get in. The Oscar Prospector, why does your stream keep kicking me off? I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what's happening there. That must be something on your end, because I'm not. I'm just sitting here. I'm just reading the things, and I'm just saying the stuff. Something must be going on in your end, because I can't. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, that's it. Whatever's happening, Oscar Prospector, it's not me. I don't know what's happening. So I don't know. It's not me. Pranks and Cats. It's so funny that One Life is Bleecker Street. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's weird having Anthony Hopkins still in here, but I have the highest quality computer in Hollywood, kid. Check your end. All right, now you're just now you're kind of being a dick. All right, I don't what. I'm not doing anything. All right, you don't need to be rude like that. All right, you don't need to be rude. But regardless, One Life. I probably need to see BAFTA. I probably need to see BAFTA. I'd have to see BAFTA save One Life in order for me to predict it. But if BAFTA does go with Anthony Hopkins, oh boy, that changes a lot, and someone's gonna get snubbed, and it's probably gonna be someone you don't like, or at least someone that you don't want to see snubbed. I agree with the Actor 5, but I can see a universe where there was an upset. The thing is, it's hard to see who gets swapped out. Who would get swapped out in favor of this? I think maybe weirdly enough, I could see a path where Leonardo DiCaprio gets snubbed. That if Leo gets snubbed, and I'm already expecting a few snubs for Killers of the Flower Moon, that would show that it's especially weak in Best Picture. And at that point, I might not even predict Lily Gladstone to win lead actress. It's just tough. It really is tough. What's your favorite movie of the year? Oh, least favorite movie of the year. Oh man, I have not seen a lot of the movie. I've not seen a lot of really, really bad movies this year. I've mainly just been keeping up with the films, mainly the Oscar films and stuff. But I guess right now it'd be Five Nights at Freddy's. But even then, I don't even know if I want to count that, because that also just went simultaneously to streaming. And it's because you can put any garbage film on streaming. So it's I don't even know if I want to count Five Nights at Freddy's or not. So I do need, I need to see, I do want to try to see, what movies look like they could be the worst ones of the year. So, yeah. And I have, Matt Damon in for Air because he's going to get the Golden Globe nomination for comedy musical actor, and I could maybe even see him getting in a Critics' Choice, maybe even SAG. But again, it's hard to say who to get snubbed for. Which VFX do you prefer, Morbius or Everything Everywhere All at Once? If I'm gonna be honest, in terms of visual effects alone, I mean, like in terms of visual effects, I guess I'd say Morbius. I know it's a hot take, but it's like the thing with Everything Everywhere All at Once, its visual effects are merely an extension of its editing. Like it's like the visual effects are really just its editing, and that's the grander achievement than the actual visual effects themselves. Like, admittedly, like when, like for example, when when Morbius's face is like that weird thing, it's not bad. It doesn't. I think there's a lot of like not good lighting choices, but in Morbius, but that really goes more to the art direction than the actual visual effects themselves. I mean, the visual effects are fine in Morbius. I'm not gonna nominate it for any Oscars or anything like that, but it's like, yeah. I would consider Andrew Scott for All of Us Strangers for actor. In your personal five or in your prediction five? I mean, if it's in your prediction, I mean, if it's in your personal five, then yeah, I could, yeah, I'd be able to, I'd see that, I could see that. Although I have not really, seen. Oh, predictions. Oh well, that's just sorry to say, that's just not gonna happen. Like All of Us Strangers is dead. It's dead. And as the Oscar expert put it, we need to take it out to the back and shoot it. It is done. I think Andrew Scott is this year's Paul Mescal for Aftersun. The problem is that with the Aftersun year, like, it was tough. Like, there wasn't a clean five. Like, it was going everywhere. Because, like, a lot of the performances, a lot of the performances were from either divisive films or people just trying to ride off of the film itself. Like, for example, Tom Cruise is not giving an Oscar-worthy performance in Top Gun Maverick, but the only reason why Critics' Choice nominated him was because of Top Gun Maverick. They wanted him to tail off of Top Gun Maverick. There was an argument for Hugh Jackman for The Sun, but nobody liked The Sun, so that made it difficult. And like Adam Sandler for Hustle, that was just really random. The thing with Paul Mescal and Aftersun was that it was that there was no clear number five. It's like, what is happening here with this category? Because a lot of the contenders were just not around. And right now, and as of right now, lead actor is looking considerably stronger than it was last year. In terms of competition, I mean, yeah. I don't think Andrew Scott is gonna happen. But yeah, let's go into lead actress. This is really tough between Lily Gladstone, Emma Stone, and Carey Mulligan. This is really tough. Because, like, Emma Stone is easily winning the Golden Globe for lead actress comedy musical. That's easily happening. Drama is where it's really going to be competitive. Like, is it going to be Lily Gladstone or is it going to be Carey Mulligan? And there could be a path for Carey Mulligan to win at the Golden Globes and maybe ultimately the Oscar. Because it seems like no one really knows what to do with lead actress right now. I know a lot of people are saying, Poor Things is, like, Emma Stone is up front, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like for Emma Stone, like, for such a weird performance in a really weird movie, the movie would need to be, like, the movie would be really in. It would need to be in. Or the very, like, how do I describe it? It's like, Emma's, like, Poor Things would need to be, like, win competitive, and at this point, I don't think it is win competitive, because they're, like, so it's just tough, and it's just like, I don't know. It really is tough. Um, Greta Lee is way too subtle. Barrino is stronger because she's in a musical. I don't know. Again, it really depends on what on what the color purple actually is. Is the color purple actually going to be a thing? Because, and past lives, I feel like Greta Lee would be like the last minute save for past lives. Like it would be like her getting nominated would be like a last minute save. Like she gets in at the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, Mrs. BAFTA, Mrs. SAG, but then she gets the Oscar nomination. I think that would be the path in which she gets nominated for the Oscar. Oh man, this is crazy. I think Carey Mulligan wins the Golden Globe drama, and Emma Stone wins the Golden Globe comedy musical and Critics' Choice. Sandra Huller wins BAFTA, then Lily Gladstone wins SAG and Oscar. That would be absolutely nuts. I don't think that's happening. That would be absolutely that would be absolute chaos if that happened. Cause that would be weird if Lily Gladstone only just picked up the SAG and then the Oscar. That would be really random. Cause at least Michelle Yeoh did get she also had the Golden Globe for comedy musical. So it's not like she won nothing at that point. That would be insane if that happened. That would be nuts. And I do think Kaylee Spaney gets in for Priscilla because, I feel like this would be like Spencer, where it's a lone lead actress nomination, and plus before this, granted the strike is over currently, but she was able to promote the film due to, what's the word I'm looking for? The interim agreement, and there was a good couple of weeks or so where everything was just Kaylee Spaney. And it's I feel like that kind of publicity could get her nominated for the Oscar. Sandra Huller, I think she gets BAFTA. I'm not even convinced she gets into the Golden Globes. Because, again, Anatomy of a Fall is not really a major player. Or at the very least, international films are never really major players and precursors unless your international director is like a superstar like Alfonso Cuarón or Bong Joon-ho. Fantasia Barrino, I need to see what The Color Purple is going to be like. Annette Bening for Nyad, she's going to get nominated for the SAG Award. And same thing with Jodie Foster. They are both going to get nominated for the SAG Award. And then they just missed the Oscar. I mean, they might, and also, Annette Bening might also get the Golden Globe nomination. She could get Golden Globe and SAG, and people are gonna go, "Oh no, is this happening?" But no, it's just another Bill Murray. Actually, no, not even Bill Murray. It's Ben Affleck in The Tender Bar. Annette Bening was so funny and bad at the same time in Nyad. I don't think she was bad in the film. I think she was fine. I think she was just fine in the film. The filmmaking overall is just really weird. Just this weird, the CGI kind of underwater kingdom or whatever. And all these weird, floaty things. That. I think that the filmmaking in general in that film was more misguided than really her. And also, rest in peace, Tiana Taylor, unless, and I'm not expecting another Andrea Riseborough situation, but yeah, rest in peace. Supporting actor, okay, this is where you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I think supporting actor is more complicated than a lot of people think. For one, Dominic Sessa is so top 3, it's not even funny. I've seen people not even put him in the like in the top 5, and it's like, why? Like, this is absolutely the performance that gets nominated. Like, he's a newcomer, and it's like, damn, he's like this really heartwarming person in the film, like, or at the very least, like, this is a very heartwarming movie. He's like the heart and soul of it all. He's literally Lucas Hedges in he's literally Lucas Hedges in Manchester by the Sea if it was a comedy. Which, granted, if you know the contents of the film Manchester by the Sea, it'd be kind of weird if that was a comedy. But still. Mark Ruffalo. Also, who's going to... I'm not even sure who's going to win at this point. It could be Robert Downey Jr. or it could be Ryan Gosling. Like, this is... Like, this is... Like, oh... Like, it is tough. Because Robert Downey Jr. is more baity, but also Ryan Gosling has a lot of passion behind him. And even if I were voting between Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Gosling, I might go for Ryan Gosling. So it is really tough. And even people who do not like Barbie love Ryan Gosling in it. That's a key thing. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. I think he's safe. And you're probably wondering, why the hell do you have Matt Damon in? Because mainly because there's not like there's arguments for everyone else. There's arguments for everything else. Like, there is an argument to be made for Robert De Niro, Willem Dafoe, Charles Melton, rest in peace, John Majaro. Actually, no, I don't think Charles Melton's getting in because I think May December is just not going to appeal to Oscar voters. But here's the thing: Robert De Niro was snubbed for The Irishman. And he was like the bread and butter of that film. That film is 3.5 hours worth of him. And he didn't get in. He didn't even come close to getting in. If Robert De Niro couldn't get in for like arguably one of his best performances in years, and not only that, but it's like literally the whole movie's around him, and it's like a big baity biopic performance where you see like the progression of his age and stuff. This should have been like a lock-in for lead actor. And he didn't get in. It makes me think, I'm wondering if the Academy is getting kind of tired of Robert De Niro. And with Willem Dafoe, that's also not impossible. Again, I've not seen Poor Things, but it's like, I don't know. In recent years, whenever people have tried to predict Willem Dafoe in something, it doesn't happen. People tried to predict him for The Lighthouse, that didn't happen. People tried to predict him for Nightmare Alley, that didn't happen. People tried to predict him for, well, I'm trying to think of what came out last year that people were thinking he was going to get nominated for. I don't know. Oh yeah, I think some people were trying to say he was going to get in for The Northman, but I don't know. I think Willem Dafoe... And the reason why I'm going with Matt Damon is because there is a huge passion for Oppenheimer. All right, Oppenheimer has the potential to overperform, but not in the ways that you think. Let's see. In my opinion, Matt Damon is this year's Jesse Plemons. Maybe. Or maybe even better than Jesse Plemons. Maybe he doesn't even just get BAFTA. Like, you can make an argument he gets into the Golden Globes as well. Well, it's not an impossibility. I don't think the entirety of the Best Supporting Actor will be from Best Picture nominees. I don't think that really matters here. Because already, my top 7 is Best Picture nominees. And I genuinely don't think Charles Melton has that kind of passion behind him for a nomination. Or May December overall. So yeah, my top 5 for supporting actor: Downey Jr., Ruffalo, Gosling, Dafoe, Melton. Oh man, I would really suggest taking Dominic Sessa seriously. Again, I think Dominic Sessa is straight up top 3, and people don't realize it yet. I put De Niro snubbed like he did snubbed for The Irishman. Yep, Dafoe is this year's Barry Keoghan. I don't know. I mean, these are two very different things. Like, I mean, hell, Banshees of Inisherin was nominated for SAG Ensemble, and I'm not even thinking Poor Things gets nominated. I am not putting Matt Damon in. Sorry, I have Oppenheimer, but he is nothing special. Nothing was really special about Jamie Lee Curtis and Everything Ever All at Once either, and she won the award. Now, granted, I'm not saying Matt Damon is winning. He's not gonna win, but it doesn't really matter if your performance is like the most showy, like the biggest performance or whatnot. If you're in Best Picture, especially if you're in a Best Picture nominee that people are really passionate about, you could maybe you could still get in. But right now, even if even if people don't think Matt Damon's happening, I would seriously suggest putting Dominic Sessa in the top 3. This is so everything, the performance, the narrative, everything is wrapped up in a little bow right for Dominic Sessa. That is just straight up happening. But yeah. And also, Ben Affleck for Air, I think he's getting in at Golden Globes and maybe even SAG. And maybe Critics' Choice, but also that really depends on how many nominations Critics' Choice has. And trying to predict Critics' Choice is so weird because it's you can't go off of anything. Actually, no, how do I put it better? It's the number of nominees fluctuates so much to where it's I don't know, anyone could get in, literally. But yeah, Jesse Plemons in Killers of the Flower Moon, he's in more of the movie than I thought he was going to be, but... Glenn Howerton for Blackberry, I still need to see Blackberry. And Gary Oldman for Oppenheimer, I'm just saying, he's a very small part, and that's a very memorable scene. Supporting actress. I have Divine Joy Randolph winning for The Holdovers, and if she wins this, this could very well be set into leading to a Best Picture win if this happens. Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, Penelope Cruz for Ferrari, and Florence Pugh for Oppenheimer. Just like supporting actress is really tough for those last couple slots. Jacob Ryder says, Robert Downey Jr. deserves the win for supporting actor. I wouldn't complain. At all. My pick would probably, between him and Gosling, I'd probably pick Gosling, but I wouldn't complain. Top 5 for supporting actress: Randolph, Blunt, Brooks, Cruz, Moore. I don't think I just don't know if there's going to be a lot of passion for May December as a whole. And I know people are thinking, why? I don't think Florence Pugh is impossible. I think there is a good chance Florence Pugh could get in. I mean, she did, honestly, I remember, if The Color Purple is actually amazing, then I think Brooks wins because they love their musical performances and supporting actress. That is true. There's a couple ways this could go. And maybe I should put Danielle Brooks at number 2. But if The Color Purple really is a thing, then I think she could get nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Actually, no, I could say I think she could win Supporting Actress. God, I can't speak today. But yeah, I do think Danielle Brooks could win if the movie's in Best Picture. But that's the thing. It needs to be in Best Picture, I feel. But with Florence Pugh, it's the race is so wide open for the bookend of, the end of supporting actress, and I feel like that would yeah, it would be kind of, I'm not I've seen some people being passionate about Florence Pugh despite her screen time. I should say that. Man, I can't 100% Cruz is getting in. She got nominated for Parallel Mothers. She could probably only get BAFTA and Golden Globe, and that's all she would need. And even if she got the Golden Globe, I'd say that's a very good sign. The Academy loves Cruz very much. True. I feel like even if Robert Downey Jr. does win, it'll almost be like a career achievement award, similar to Julianne Moore, Al Pacino, and Paul Newman. maybe, but also there is passion behind, Robert Downey Jr. I think there is, like if they wanted to nominate him, they could. I mean, if they wanted to give him the win, that they could, because it is a very, very good performance. I wouldn't complain over the win. But yeah, overall, I know a lot of people are saying, some people might go, why don't you have Viola Davis in supporting actress if you think Air's getting in Best Picture? Well, that's only because, like, I don't think you need to nominate any actors for Air to get in Best Picture. I think all it needs is screenplay and editing, and people are going to really hate that, but it's like, I think that's just going to happen. Rachel McAdams would be awesome nomination, but it won't happen. I still need to see Are You There, Godspeed Margaret. I need to watch that. But yeah, honestly, maybe I should just take her off the list, and maybe it's only competitive in screenplay, even though I don't think that's happening either. Oh, speaking of screenplay, original screenplay, we have The Holdovers, Past Lives, Air, Maestro, and those are the top 4 easily. Asteroid City. Why don't I have Barbie? Well, that's because I have an adapted screenplay, and I just genuinely do not believe the Oscars will let that go to original. It would be wildly out of character if they made Whiplash and Moonlight go to best adapted screenplay, and Barbie is even more of a slam dunk, case closed for adapted screenplay. Then there's no chance they're gonna let this go in original. They're not gonna do that. The Oscars are not gonna do that. But yeah, so don't expect Barbie in my original screenplay predictions. So because I guarantee you it's not happening. Holdovers, I think wins. I think it's probably the strongest contender here because again, if it wants to win Best Picture, it needs to win screenplay. So there's that, and obviously, then you're probably wondering why do I have Asteroid City as that 5th slot? Because I can't think of another good alternative. Yes, people are going to say, well, about Anatomy of a Fall, but again, murder mystery thriller. I don't really that genre is just blaring up in my head. Like the genre bias of murder mystery thrillers. It's I don't want to fall into that trap again. Anatomy of a Fall screenplay is very showy, and Asteroid City is not a well reviewed movie. It has pretty good reviews. It does have pretty good reviews. And I do think that the people who do like this think that it was better than The French Dispatch. So I think that could help it. But again, this would be one of those things where it's like it barely gets in. And again, it gets in because there's not a lot of competition in original screenplay because, again, I just do not think Barbie's getting in. May, December, I don't know. From everything I've been hearing, it's just not the Oscars thing. Rustin might happen. Maybe Rustin happens. We'll have to see. El Conde, man, I would love that to happen, but that's not going to happen. Saltburn, man, yeah, not going to happen. But what about you guys? What do you think of, what are your original screenplay nominations? I want to know. And like I said, this is not just my Oscar predictions, this is your Oscar predictions too. There was someone I watched that thing. Hold on. There was someone I watched that think Chris Rock is winning, like supporting actor for Rustin. That would be insane. Again, I've not seen Rustin. I will be seeing Rustin when it comes to Netflix this month. That would be nuts. Like, that would actually be crazy if that happens. Pretty much the same 5, but Barbie if it goes in there. Big Shark. The Tommy Wiseau movie? Okay, I think that's all right. You're pulling my leg there. Like, no, that's not. But yeah, if Barbie does go in adapted, then yeah, I will predict it in original screenplay. But that's again, I don't want to bank on a hypothetical where I don't want to bank on a hypothetical where there is precedent for that hypothetical to not happen. That's also why I'm not predicting Oppenheimer in visual effects, because I get the reasoning for predicting it, but but again, we'll get to that when we get to visual effects. But right now, Barbie, I just don't buy an original screenplay. I just don't think the Oscars will let that happen. So yeah, for me, my top 5 original screenplay: The Holdovers, Barbie, Past Lives, Anatomy of a Fall, May, December. Again, I don't think Barbie's getting an original. Oh god, oh man, oh what, like, I think people need to start putting Air in original screenplay. I mean, Air is absolutely getting in. Like, even if you don't think it's getting in Best Picture, there's not a lot of competition in the original screenplay. Like, there's not a lot of competition in the original screenplay. So and considering Air is already, like, I think in the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes, like, you'd probably have to put this in original screenplay somewhere, like in the top 5, because again, there's just not a lot of good competition. Uh, you're not alone. I think Barbie's gonna go adapted too. Exactly. It's like, you know, again, this is way more of a slam dunk adapted screenplay than even Moonlight and Whiplash. And if those two were made to go in adapted, there is no reason. I think there's just no reason to believe Barbie is going to suddenly go to original. And some people tried telling me, "Oh, but they've changed. The Oscars have changed, and stuff." It's like, what evidence has that been proven? Like, in what way? Like, people are telling me, "Oh, the Oscars have changed. They won't make Barbie go into adapted." It's like, there's no evidence to support that theory at all to say that they'll keep it in original. Literally, the only reason why Warner Brothers put it in original was because they didn't have to compete with Oppenheimer, with Poor Things, with Killers of the Flower Moon. Even though I think there's a chance it could win if it gets nominated in those two categories. I mean, no, if it gets nominated in there, in adapted. But, like, yeah. Adapted and original screenplay is so weird this year. Yeah, I think, I think, like, this is good. This is gonna be a weird year, and I think Barbie might get in for adapted screenplay like Moonlight. True. But yeah, speaking of adapted screenplay, this is tough because this could be. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be Poor Things. I don't think it's gonna be Poor Things. I think this is a fight between Barbie and Oppenheimer, and the worst part is that we will not know. Like without the Writers Guild Awards, it's going to make this so much harder to predict. Like it is it is going to be absolutely nuts. And the reason why I'm putting Oppenheimer in over Barbie is because I think for Barbie to win at the Oscars, it would need to ride the momentum of, hey, Barbie just won the Writers Guild Awards. Wink, wink. You know what to do. Sort of like with Women Talking. Because, like, with Women Talking, like with adapted screenplay that year, All Quiet on the Western Front won the BAFTA. And it's like, oh my god, it's strong. And then Women Talking won adapted screenplay at the Writers Guild. And it's like, Women Talking has a chance. And then there was that passion. It's like, oh, come on, Women Talking. And then, boom, it wins the Oscar. Without that momentum, I don't know if Barbie can win. Because I do think Barbie will win at Writers Guild, but I don't think it's going... But without the Writers Guild momentum, I don't think it's going to win the Oscar. Which I think just gets it, which is why I think Oppenheimer wins. Because I know some people are going, well, I mean, Christopher Nolan's already winning director. It's like, that doesn't always mean anything. Like, you can win, if your film has enough passion behind it, you can win, your film can win, screenplay, director, and picture. It can absolutely do that. Look at Birdman, look at The King's Speech, look at, what was that movie called? It was Everything Ever All at Once. There's a lot of passion behind Oppenheimer. And it's a very smart movie, and people have already said that it's, Christopher Nolan's most layered film in terms of storytelling and his most emotional film. I think that's a good case to make for it to win Best Adapted Screenplay, which would mean Christopher Nolan goes from winning 0 Oscars to 3. So there's that. Barbie is its biggest competitor, though. I will say, if Barbie manages to win screenplay at the Oscars without the aid of Writers Guild, oh boy, then it might win Best Picture. There's a good chance it could win Best Picture. And with Poor Things, I just don't know. I just don't know if there's passion there for Poor Things. Everyone who's seen it loves it, but it's also like you're dealing with two of the biggest films of the year in Oppenheimer and Barbie. And it's not like a Top Gun Maverick situation where it's like, it was never going to win any above the line stuff. Like, even people who said, oh, it could win Adapted Screenplay, it's like, no, it didn't even come close to happening. Oppenheimer and Barbie legitimately can win those categories. And they are, so I think they probably have, because and it's weird, because Oppenheimer, because they're both going for the same things that Poor Things has, but with more passion. Oppenheimer has that kind of really smart, has that really classic Oscar baity kind of thing. And it's a very important story, and it's very well written. But you also have Barbie, which is it's weird, it's creative, it's also trying to say this social message about feminism. But I think with Barbie, it might click more with people than Poor Things, because it just seems like it just seems like the message is a little bit more clear. But yeah, hold on, let me look at some of these top 5 for adapted screenplay. Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things, American Fiction, Oppenheimer, Zone of Interest. Alright. Okay. I am so conflicted over the Zone of Interest in adapted screenplay, because it can happen. It can happen. And people are saying, well, it's not really the most righty movie of the year. But here's the problem. With the Zone of Interest, or with any, screenplay nominated thing, you don't have to be the most righty film in order, because here's the thing, screenplay is not always about the dialogue. It's not always about the back and forth between multiple characters. It's also about how the scene is described in the screenplay. How is everything written? I remember I watched those, those script to screen videos where it's it shows a scene of the movie, but also has the little script scrolling up as well. Where it shows what's happening on screen in the screenplay. I saw a couple of those for 1917 and All Quiet on the Western Front, and for 1917 and All Quiet on the Western Front, there wasn't a lot of dialogue, but the way the screenplay described those scenes was a page turner. It's oh my god, this is really well written. So that's the thing. Screenplay is not always about the the dialogue. It is about, a lot of it can also have to do with how the screenplay is describing what you're supposed to see. And if it's a page turner, then the Zone of Interest could get in. But the problem therein is that I would have to take out American Fiction, and by doing that, I would have to take it out of Best Picture, because there's no way American Fiction, I think American Fiction can get into Best Picture without editing and without actor. It needs screenplay. I think it would absolutely need screenplay to get Best Picture. And if I'm putting Zone of Interest in adapted screenplay, which could very well happen, then I have to take out American Fiction, which would also mean I have to break that stat of, if you win People's Choice at TIFF, you're in Best Picture. And it's tough, because I don't know who else you could snub. Killers of the Flower Moon, maybe? I don't. But then again, I don't know. That just seems like too. Like that just seems too big. So that is tough. I want Killers of the Flower Moon to win adapted screenplay because I wanted Martin Scorsese to win another Oscar very badly. He deserved it. I mean, I think it really. I think it should be like, is it the best screenplay of the year? Then yeah, he should. Then yeah, it should win. Right now, out of the ones I've seen, Oppenheimer, Barbie, Killers, I probably. Ooh, it's tough. I might go with Oppenheimer, but it's tough. What was it? No, not American Fiction or Poor Things for adapted. No, I want Killers of Marty to win very badly. Angry Face. I mean, look, that's just the way things go. That's just the way things go. I think it's Poor Things, American Fiction, or Barbie. I don't know. I think I don't think, because here's the thing, Poor Things is absolutely not going to get in Writers Guild. That kind of helps. It helps to be in the Writers Guild Awards. But yeah, if Oppenheimer gets snubbed for All of Us Strangers or for adapted, I will be very happy. I wouldn't. Oppenheimer's screenplay is like one of the best of the year. That needs to get in. WGA is after the Oscars this year. Yep, I said that. Zone would be such a weird nomination. Would it, though? Would it? Because we've seen a bunch of these international films get nominated for screenplay before. Roma got into original screenplay. Parasite got original screenplay. What was it? Drive My Car got adapted screenplay. All Quiet on the Western Front got an adapted screenplay. It's like we're kind of seeing this pattern where if you're nominated in Best Picture and as an international film, you get into screenplay. And I could even see BAFTA going for The Zone of Interest. It's just tough because I would have to take out American Fiction, but I don't know who I would but I don't know what I would put into Best Picture above it. That would I will say, if it does turn out that The Color Purple is going to be a thing, if it is really well acclaimed, if The Color Purple is going to be, if it does end up being a strong contender in screenplay, that could definitely happen. Not The Color Purple. If The Color Purple is in Best Picture, then maybe that would be a reason for me to take out American Fiction and swap out American Fiction and screenplay in favor of The Zone of Interest. Oppenheimer's screenplay is maybe this year's The Whale. Here's the problem. The Whale didn't get nominated because the screenplay for the movie was word for word verbatim the show, pretty much the stage show. Because that's the thing that the writer's branch doesn't really like. If you're gonna be a stage show in screenplay, there's got to be more adaptation to it. That's why what was it? Ma Rainey's Black Bottom didn't get nominated. What was it? The Whale didn't get nominated. The Tragedy of Macbeth didn't get nominated. West Side Story didn't get nominated. Tick Tick Boom didn't get nominated because when you're doing a stage show, you're pretty much doing everything word by word for word, and you kind of have to rely on the direction of it all. I remember when you nominated The Whale over Women Talking for screenplay. Yeah, I think I probably would put in. Then again, I don't know. It's I probably would do things differently, but that's just kind of the thing. You just got especially since I was riding that high off of The Whale. It's oh man, The Whale, The Whale, The Whale. So it's that stuff is real. Where it's riding off that high off of seeing a movie you really, really love. And I still contend that I think The Whale is number 3 or in the top 5 best movies of 2022. But when it comes to stuff like screenplay, cinematography, it's I wasn't really thinking all that much. At least when it comes to cinematography. Although it was strong in those regards, but still, regardless. Yeah, Spider-Verse, rest in peace. Unless it would take a miracle for Spider-Verse to get into Best Picture and adapted screenplay by now. Cinematography. I think this is just going to be the 5. I think this is our 5. That's just going to get in. Oppenheimer, Killers, Maestro, Poor Things, Zone of Interest. I don't know what else could possibly get in, because nothing else is like a strong contender. Yeah, this 5. Well, hold on. This 5 is locked. Same top 5 for cinematography. I agree. Absolutely. Like, this is so locked in. And look, I'm expecting Zone of Interest to not make it in Critics' Choice, and like I'm expecting that. But like all of these, like this 5 is so locked. After saying Saltburn, that's gonna get BAFTA, Critics' Choice. Maybe Critics' Choice. Critics' Choice, I can see that. But BAFTA, I don't know, because like, what would the BAFTA snub in favor of Saltburn? And ASC. Okay, I don't know about that, because like, again, it's just like this 5 just makes way too much sense. This 5 makes way too much sense for cinematography. Like, it's so predictable. Because, like, especially now with Dune gone. With Dune gone, it's like, all bets are off. This is getting in. Like, all these are getting in. I want so badly Saltburn or The Killer to get in over Maestro, but I don't think it's happening. I saw The Killer literally just now before I streamed. I don't think you need to give it cinematography, to be honest. I mean, I think there's definitely an argument to be made for like film editing and sound, but cinematography, I mean, I've seen better cinematography in David Fincher movies. ASC gave Cherry, the Tom Holland movie, a nom. They can give Saltburn a nom. Yeah, but also that was the 2020 year, and like there was just not a lot of competition in terms of text that year, and like the weirdest stuff could possibly, like, somehow the trial of the Chicago 7 got a cinematography nomination at the Oscars and ASC, and that made no sense. It's like, why did they? Hot take, I don't even get why Judas and the Black Messiah got a cinematography nomination. Like, I don't, like, it was just not a great year for text that year. Desplot is Linus Sangren, where he misses for Midnight Sky, French Dispatch, and Pinocchio. Linus misses for First Man, Babylon, then Saltburn. Oh man, you that's not a bad argument to make. Yeah, how Trials of Chicago 7 got nominated for cinematography over Tenet. That's terrible. Yeah, and look, I love the Trials of Chicago 7. I think that I think out of the Best Picture nominees that year, it should have won Best Picture. But what about the cinematography in Chicago 7 was like Oscar worthy? It's like, it's good. There's not any mistakes being made there. It's just, there you go. It's good. What about it was deserving of an Oscar? Like, not even just over Tenet, but like, they could have nominated Tenet, Da 5 Bloods. Granted, I knew they were never going to go for The Vast of Night, but that's just wishful thinking from me. But like, they could have, like, why Chicago 7? I don't know why. But yeah. And you see that I don't have Barbie on here, because Barbie, that would be, like, no. Tenet should have been nominated that year. Preach to the choir. Film editing, I'm thinking maybe this is our nominees for film editing. Oppenheimer, Air, Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Zone of Interest. I think Zone of Interest, like, granted, I do need to see the movie, but from what I've been hearing, and especially from what I've seen of the trailers, it's like, the editing looks very precise and very specific in what it's trying to do. That could definitely get it nominated, which would, that would show that there is some strength in the Zone of Interest. Especially if it gets film editing and screenplay. Wow. Like, that would be nuts. My top 5 for best editing: Oppenheimer, Oppenheimer. Actually, no, hold on. My top 5 for editing: Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things, The Holdovers, Ferrari. Ferrari is not impossible. I think that could happen. I do agree that maybe it's one limiting factor that it's not in Best Picture, and it's kind of rare for a movie to get into editing without Best Picture. But I'm thinking Poor Things actually misses because like, I don't know, saying that Poor Things it gets in, I feel like might be too easy. How do I explain it? It's like it sounds too easy for this movie because it's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't know, because that was a movie that everyone thought, oh man, that's winning Best Picture, and then boom, it loses an editing nomination. It's like, what did that happen? I put Ferrari to get in because it is a non-Best Picture nominee, like what happened with Star Wars Episode 7, Baby Driver, or Tick Tick Boom. That is true, although at the same time, Tick Tick Boom and Star Wars The Force Awakens almost got Best Picture nominations. There is that. Although you could be on something with Baby Driver, because Baby Driver was never going to get into Best Picture. But then again, at the same time, it was more liked than it's tough. The Killer's editing is not good. Are you talking about Killers with Flower Moon or The Killer with Michael Fassbender? I don't know which one you mean by those. Because I would say, like, The Killer. Oh, okay, The Killer. I mean, yeah, I don't think you need to nominate The Killer. I mean, yeah, I don't think it was bad. It's just like, it's good. It's pretty good. There's some pretty good stuff happening there. But yeah. Baby Driver was second to win Sound Awards and editing. That is true. Baby Driver almost won. I mean, hell, Baby Driver even won the BAFTA, and it tied with Dunkirk at the Critics' Choice. But honestly, I think Poor Things misses editing, and that's going to be like one of the clear signs that it is weak in Best Picture. Baby Driver should have won editing over Dunkirk. I disagree. I think the editing in Dunkirk was like unbelievable. It was incredible. Ferrari, again, don't count out Ferrari. Ferrari, like, it is a car movie. I think American Fiction is the comedy that gets an editing nomination. I don't know. Again, I don't know, because it's not like, if you're a comedy getting into editing, you need to be like really high up in Best Picture. And I don't know if it's that high up. Hell, it could even miss Best Picture. And this year is this year is really competitive in terms of editing. So, yeah. And I do think Air is getting in. If it's in Best Picture, it's getting editing. And this film could, this film could, Air does have very, very showy editing. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a sucker for the editing as well. I really like the editing. I put The Holdovers again because it is a comedy. They nominated Green Book, The Banshees, or The Artist. And all those were pretty big Best Picture contenders, and so is The Holdovers. So there is that. Others, Maestro, Barbie. I want Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse to get in, but obviously that's not going to happen. Production design. I'm not going to lie. I was about to say this is locked in, but there's a really, really good argument for the zone of interest. There is a very good argument for the zone of interest to get into production design. The problem is, I don't know who I take out, because all of this is so, all these just seem unsnubbable. I think between Barbie and Poor Things, we're gonna see the exact same thing that happened between The Favorite and Black Panther in 2018, where Black Panther, it won Critics' Choice for both production design and costume design. At the BAFTAs, it went to The Favorite, and then at the Oscars, it went to Black Panther. And I think the exact same thing is gonna happen with Barbie and Poor Things. I think Poor Things wins production design and Barbie wins costume design. I'm not betting on that. Like, because again, I don't know. I think there's especially like it is. I think Barbie is just going to be that tech juggernaut, like that strong, strong tech juggernaut. Zone of Interest has never happened. I know they nominated international movies sometimes like Roma, Parasite, and All Quiet, but that's not happening for. But it's not happening for Zone. Sorry, how is it not happening for Zone? How is it not happening for the Zone of Interest? Like from everything I've read and everything I've seen, it's like the production design is very very apparent in the film, and especially when rewatching the trailer, the set looks like the sets look like just like how I said about potentially film editing. The the production design in the Zone of Interest looks very careful and very precise, and like that attention to detail, even in its simplicity, could probably get it in. But again, the problem is who would get snubbed in favor of the Zone of Interest. Maybe it could be Oppenheimer, because it's not, the most showy production design, and it's not even by Nathan Crowley, who usually does Christopher Nolan's movies. So I don't know. There's just a really good argument for the Zone of Interest. That's all I'm saying. There's a very good argument to be made for the Zone of Interest. Uh, Asteroid City, I'd like to see that happen, but it won't. I really want to see Wonka to see what kind of sets that it has. And then El Conde, I mean, again, that's just probably not going to happen. Costume design. We have Barbie, Poor Things, Wonka, Killers of the Flower Moon, and The Color Purple. I think Wonka gets in because I think Wonka, well, for one, is going to be much better received than a lot of people think. I mean, it's from the director of Paddington 1 and 2. But it's also a live action musical, and these do very well in these kind of tech categories. Look at Mary Poppins Returns. Mary Poppins Returns got nominated for like production design, costume design, original score, and original song. What do we have here? My top 5 for costume design: Barbie, Poor Things, The Color Purple, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon. Oh, Napoleon is just gonna get goose egged. Like that's just that Napoleon is straight up a myth. That movie does not exist. I would just take out Wonka and put in Maestro. That's not a bad idea. I mean, Maestro is not a bad call, but the problem is that I feel like Wonka is going to appeal a lot, is going to be a lot more appealing than people think. And even Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory got nominated for costume design, and that took place in the modern day. This is a period piece. So, so yeah, it's just tough. Although Maestro could get in, it is Mark Bridges. Although Mark Bridges didn't get in for the Fablemans last year, so there is that to keep in mind. I take out Wonka. I hate Wonka. You haven't seen Wonka. How can you say that you hate Wonka if you haven't even seen it? Let's see. Okay. I I do gotta use the bathroom real quick. I will be back, but I'm gonna put this as I'm gonna put a little we'll be back screen. I'm gonna probably also make this a little ad break as well. But we will be back to talk about more of these categories and your predictions. So do not go anywhere. I'm just using the bathroom real quick. See ya. We are back. Let's talk about some more of your Oscar predictions. All right, let's move to makeup and hairstyling. Maestro is winning. I mean, there is that pretty good stat, lead actor and makeup, or like either like basically you're transforming one of the nominated actors, you win. And it helps that it's in Best Picture. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I think would be number 2 because I think it's going to win, I mean, maybe even sweep the Makeup and Hairstylists Guild Awards. So there is that. Poor Things, I think gets in. Golda, I know a lot of people aren't liking Golda, but I don't think the branch really cares about that. I think if Maestro or Poor Things end up losing actor, I think Guardians 3 wins makeup. That would be nuts. I wouldn't put Air in the top 50 for makeup. But here's the thing. They will shortlist movies for like that have like period hairstyling. Like, go look what they did with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Dolomite Is My Name. Like, that doesn't mean you're going to get nominated. Obviously, Air's not going to get nominated because they like prosthetics more. But I do think that hairstyling alone could get it into the short list. And because if I'm putting it in the top 10, I'm putting it in the short list. My top 5 from makeup and hairstyling: Maestro, Guardians, Poor Things, Oppenheimer, John Wick 4. People, okay, I don't know about Oppenheimer, but regardless, people need to start predicting John Wick 4. Look at this man. That is Scott Adkins. Look up the real Scott Adkins and look up his character in John Wick 4. It's that goofy fat people makeup that the branch loves. And the fact that people are not taking this seriously is insane. People have been telling me, oh, but John Wick hasn't been nominated for any Oscars before. Yeah, because there wasn't really anything that was worthy to nominate it for. This is. Like, John Wick 4 would absolutely fit the bill. It's weird. It's crazy. It has that prosthetic stuff. Like, I think it gets in. And so, yeah. Not Yet, I think, would get in the shortlist because of the jellyfish stings. Ferrari. Oh, wait. Please, John Wick Chapter 4 to get nominated for something if it's happening. Will be so happy is my favorite action movie of the year. People seem to be at least putting John Wick 4 in the top 15, though I think it gets around 4 or 5 to get nominated. Yeah, I do think John Wick 4 is going to get nominated. Because the moment I saw that Scott Adkins' character looked like this, I was like, well, this is getting nominated. Like, this is so getting nominated. And I guarantee you, people are going to try to go with, like, The Color Purple or something. Or Barbie, which I'll tell you, I'll get to Barbie here in a bit. But, but no, this is just going to be Coming to America. Even though, granted, people like John Wick 4 more than Coming to America. But still, the makeup, they like prosthetics. They like weird stuff. They like weird makeup. And so there's that. Color Purple, I think, just gets shortlisted because of the hair. I already said my piece about Air. Admittedly, I'm not exactly sure about Dungeons and Dragons getting into the top 10. I don't know. That's a little bit too, I feel like that's too ambitious because it's tough. I genuinely, well, yeah, what was it? Yeah, they love fat people makeup. They nominated The Batman, The Whale, Elvis, Coming to America, Dune, 1917, or Vice. I don't think anyone in 1917 was fat. Or Coming to America. Like, there was a lot of old people in Coming to America, sure. But I can't really think of anybody who was fat in that movie. But like, in general, I get what, like, the logic is there. Like, again, Batman, Whale, Elvis, Vice, Dune, like, yeah. Also, while I doubt it, I could see Renfield getting shortlisted. There's some decently impressive makeup on Nicolas Cage's Dracula. I need to see that. I will admit. Wait, I will admit, I do need to see Renfield. If there's some good makeup on Renfield, uh, wait, in 1917, about the makeup of Colin Firth. All right, let me look up Colin Firth in 1917. I don't know. No, no. That, like, I see what you're saying. He does look a little bit pudgier, but that's not really, like, I think that is literally just how Colin Firth looks. I mean, obviously, aside from, like, the obvious, like, hairstyling of it all, I think, like, he does have some, like, some period hair going on and stuff, but no, that's not fat people makeup. That's literally just, that's just Colin Firth. So, yeah. Guardians should honestly win. Preach! Guardians should win this. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The Humanimals? Oh my god. The Humanimals looked unbelievable. It's like, it's that same feeling I got when seeing Killer Croc in Suicide Squad. It's like, I didn't know you could do that with makeup. I thought you would have to do that with CGI. Now, granted, I think, like, the Bush baby little girl was CGI, but it's like, so, like, there's so much makeup in Guardians 3. It's such a massive achievement. It would be my pick to win. It would be my personal pick to win. Maestro will win. It's easy win if Bradley Cooper wins Best Actor. Look what happened with Brendan Fraser in The Whale last year. I mean, I think it will win, although I still think if it were me voting, I think Guardians should win. Wait, hold on. Can you look up Dracula Renfield prosthetics, please? Also, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 should win. Absolutely, it should win. Wouldn't it be crazy if it won, though? Like, that would be so I would be so thrilled. I'd be like, we're in for a night. We are in for a night. We're in for a night of chaos and great picks. Although I'm not going to complain if Maestro wins, but I just think Guardians 3 should win, because it literally broke the record for the most prosthetics ever used in film. Like, that is an incredible achievement. Renfield vampire. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, he's just kind of pale with some teeth. I don't know if they would go for that. I feel like there would need to be more prosthetic stuff on, unless he, like, turns into, like, a big monster at the end or whatever. And it clearly is makeup. I don't know, but it's like right now, I don't think Renfield gets into makeup. Plus, horror movies kind of struggle here, to be honest. Horror movies really struggle. They haven't nominated a horror movie for makeup since The Wolfman. I don't want Guardians 3 to win. The first one is better. It should have won that year over the Grand Budapest Hotel. Well, I mean, I don't know. I think Guardians 3 is just the bigger, grander achievement. I mean, and also, I mean, I don't think it really matters whether the first one. Are you saying the first one was a better movie? Because if you're saying the first one was a better movie, then that really doesn't. It really shouldn't matter which one is the better movie. We're just talking about the makeup. And Guardians 3 is just the bigger, grander, kind of more groundbreaking achievement. And even that, I probably, like, the Grand Budapest Hotel, that has some great makeup. I probably would have picked Foxcatcher that year for makeup. Would you be mad if Oppenheimer and Barbie got nominated? I wouldn't be mad if Oppenheimer got nominated. I wouldn't be mad. I would be kind of disappointed that Barbie got in. And the reason why I genuinely do not believe Barbie will get in is because it is just hair. It is, I know there's a lot of it, but it is just hairstyling. They like prosthetics. The makeup branch loves prosthetics. There was a lot of hairstyling in West Side Story. There was a lot of hairstyling in Dolomite Is My Name and, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But guess what? It did not happen because they like prosthetics more. They're, like, I just don't think Barbie is going to get nominated. It might get shortlisted, but I genuinely think I would if there was a way I could bet for a movie to not get nominated, I feel like I would win a lot of money in saying that Barbie does not get nominated. There's another scene where he's torn up, maybe, but it's tough because again, horror movies kind of struggle. Barbie's not happened. More hairstyling, yeah. Still agree that it won't happen though, yeah. Oppenheimer might get nominated. They love Gary Oldman makeup. I mean, I think that's more of a coincidence than actual stat. But also the makeup in Oppenheimer, it kind of looks like makeup. I'm not gonna lie. Like, especially when you see like when you're at the end of the movie and you see them all as old people, it's like it kind of looks like makeup, and I feel like that's just not. I feel like that might not appeal to the makeup branch. I don't know. That's why I'm thinking they probably don't get. It probably doesn't get shortlisted in that. So yeah. Rustin, Little Mermaid, Hunger Games, Beau is Afraid. Does Chris Rock have makeup in Rustin? I mean, I think he does a little bit. Although again, I have not seen the movie. I've just seen like trailers and stuff. But it's like, I mean, it's a little bit of makeup. But again, it's nothing that I would see from like, I don't see like the branch going for that. Because again, they like the crazy stuff. They like the really crazy stuff. But right now, I think we can probably go over to visual effects. And once again, why Oppenheimer will not get nominated here. You have no idea how much I am passionately waiting for the visual effects polls to open up on the betting websites, because they're all going to say Oppenheimer's winning, and at that moment, I'm going to go with the creator, because I know for a fact they will not nominate Oppenheimer. Like, because here's the thing. I get the basic precedent of why people are predicting Oppenheimer. If it gets nominated, then it wins because it's in Best Picture. That is a fact. The problem is, this is not going to get... That's going off of the assumption that it gets nominated in the first place, and I think the likelihood of that is really, really low. Dungeons and Dragons is this year's Free Guy. It might be. I don't know. I'm wondering if I should keep Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in here. Because here's the thing. I will say, despite not being in Best Picture, Across the Spider-Verse being, like, that does not, like, that, like, not being in Best Picture would not hurt Spider-Man in visual effects. It just wouldn't. Because the branch does not care if you're in Best Picture. They will snub you if you're in Best Picture if your visual effects are not impressive or groundbreaking. Just look at Arrival. Just look at, what was it? Dunkirk, The Shape of Water, look at Ford v Ferrari, look at Mank, look at, what was it called? Like, Everything Ever All at Once. They do not care if you're in Best Picture. They do not care. But yeah, I just do not think Oppenheimer is going to get nominated for visual effects. And that, oh man, I could literally make a lot of money betting on the creator over Oppenheimer, because again, I know for a fact everyone's going to predict Oppenheimer for the win. And it's just not going to get, because here's the thing about Oppenheimer. And I know what you're thinking, and I'll get to some of these other chats in a bit. Don't worry, but you're thinking Quantumania above Oppenheimer? Yes, because what film Twitter considers like impressive visual effects is not the same as what the visual effects branch considers impressive visual effects. Film Twitter was saying, "Oh, nominate Everything Ever All at Once, nominate Everything Ever All at Once," you know, and the branch didn't shortlist it because it's like no, it had 6 people working on the visual effects because it had only 6 people's worth of visual effects to work on it. Meanwhile, people will look at Black Widow and go, ew, that movie had 1 or 2 bad green screen shots. That means the entire movie's visual effects must be bad, which is a really dumb thing to say. But it's like, like one or two bad. Whereas in the visual effects branch, it's like, all right, even if we think those two shots didn't look all that great, everything else was like top tier. So it's like yeah, are there like a couple of weird shots, or maybe like a few not so great green screen or blue screen elements in Quantumania? Sure. There's a lot of creative stuff going on in there, though. I'm not saying it's getting nominated. It won't, but, you know, I think it stands a better chance with the visual effects branch because these are visual effects people who yeah. What was it? My top 5 for visual effects. The creator, Oppenheimer. Oh, there's your first mistake. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Dungeons and Dragons, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm becoming more and more convinced that Indiana Jones will get in because the de-aging on Harrison Ford, I've seen like clips and stuff. It looks flawless. Like de-aged Harrison Ford looks 100% convincing. But will they go for that? But then at the same time, because like on one hand, we've seen a lot of de-aging, but at the same time, it's not really a very big competitive year, and this is about as best as it's been done so far. So there is that. Oppenheimer is this year's Tenet or The Dark Knight. I don't know what comparison that's supposed to be. I don't know. I feel people are banking too heavily on Best Picture nominees being nominated or winning certain categories. I could see The Haunted Mansion or Dungeons and Dragons getting in. I need to see The Haunted Mansion. That is a visual effects film. I do want to keep my eyes on that, but I do agree with that. People are only predicting Oppenheimer to win visual effects because of the because it's like, here's the thing. Because if Oppenheimer gets nominated for visual effects, then the winner is easy. But because like if you take Oppenheimer out, then that means this category is complete chaos. But the problem is, I do believe this category will be chaos. We are not going to know who wins. I think Oppenheimer wins Critics' Choice, but again, the critics don't know anything about visual effects. They gave Black Panther the win for visual effects in 2018, despite the fact that that was the one thing about the film that they criticized. They also gave Avengers Endgame visual effects over The Lion King and The Irishman, which, look, don't get me wrong, I think Avengers Endgame is a much deserving nominee, but winning over The Lion King and The Irishman? Hell no. Absolutely not. And then them also nominating Everything Everywhere All at Once. Bleh. It's like that did not need to happen. Like the critics do not know anything about visual effects. I do trust their judgment when it comes to movies in general, because that's just subjective. But they know nothing about visual effects. So I guarantee you, Oppenheimer will win Critics' Choice for visual effects, but it will not get nominated for the Oscar. And I think there maybe is a chance that Oppenheimer gets nominated at the BAFTAs, because the BAFTAs have also been kind of weird in visual effects in recent years. They did not nominate any Marvel movies the past couple of years for like no reason whatsoever, despite the fact that Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings got like the second most nominations at Visual Effects Society. And then they also gave Black Panther the win for visual effects. So at that point, I'm just like, okay, well, you chose the moment you choose Black Panther 1 to win visual effects, that's when you lose all credibility in visual effects, in my opinion. Because that was just ridiculous. Regardless. I also think that Indy is The Matrix Resurrections. I don't know. I think Indy looks a lot better than The Matrix Resurrections. And plus, this is a weaker year than 2021 was in terms of visual effects. So I put Indiana Jones in 5 because they nominated Star Wars 9. I mean, I don't think that really matters. Like, I think this is one of those things where like the weird, like the stats and stuff don't really. Ooh, Poor Things will get nominated at Critics' Choice and BAFTA, and it won't get any Visual Effects Society nominations, and it won't get shortlisted. Ding, ding, ding! Correct answer. The fact that anyone thinks Poor Things is happening is insane to me. How many times must people try to predict art house films and or indies to get nominated for visual effects only for it to not even get shortlisted, for people to wake up and realize it. It's like when people said 2021, everyone's saying the Green Knight's going to get shortlisted. The Green Knight's going to show up on the shortlist. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not going to get shortlisted. It's an art house film. It's not a visual effects achievement. It just looks pretty, but that's more so the art direction than the actual visual effects themselves. But everyone told me, oh, Christian, you're crazy. Like, of course, it will get in. Of course it will get shortlisted. Even if it doesn't get nominated, it's going to get shortlisted. And then what happened? It didn't get shortlisted at all. And then the very next year, what was it called? Everything Ever All at Once. Oh man, everyone's like, oh, Christian, you're crazy for not saying it's gonna get shortlisted. Like, it's gotten everything it needs. It's been nominated for all the critics awards. I'm like, the critics, again, do not know anything about visual effects. What are you talking about? People were only nominating Everything Ever All at Once because it was like their favorite movie of the year. The visual effects in that film was just the editing. It was just, the visual effects were just an extension of its editing. And everyone's like, it's like, it's just not going to happen, people. And then it's like, oh, you're crazy. And then look what happened. Everything Ever All at Once did not get shortlisted, and everyone got on my ass, despite the fact that I'm saying I was right. You guys should never have predicted this in the first place. It was a bad idea, and already people are trying. And even this year, if you saw my video with the film drunk trying to predict visual effects, I said there's going to be a prestige film coming out this year that everyone thinks is going to get into visual effects, that everyone thinks is going to get in, but I'm just going to be like, nope, it's not a visual effects achievement. It's not going to get shortlisted. No. And I was trying to figure out what that was. I think at the time I thought it was going to be poor. I thought it was going to be Beau is Afraid, but no, it turns out it's actually Poor Things this year. And yeah, I'm completely right. It's not going to get shortlisted. Even if this is a bad year, not a great year for visual effects, it will still not get shortlisted. And people are going to get mad because people are going to be like, oh, why do the movies always shortlist the franchise movies? Because the franchise movies are doing most of the heavy lifting in terms of innovative visual effects. Don't get mad at the Oscars for not shortlisting more original movies. Get mad that there aren't more original movies with groundbreaking Oscar-worthy visual effects in the first place. Complain about the fact that there's just not many of them getting in. Regardless, I'm starting to lose hope in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm starting to lose hope. Although I think it can still happen. It does not need Best Picture. Oh, hold on, let me just take this off real quick. It does not need Best Picture to get nominated. It does not. No animated movie that ever got nominated for visual effects was ever close to getting nominated for Best Picture. Nightmare Before Christmas, Kubo and the Two Strings, Lion King, and yeah. But yeah. But yeah, it is tough. If Spider-Verse does get out, I'm probably going to put in the Marvels over Dungeons and Dragons because, I don't know, maybe Dungeons and Dragons might be thinking too outside the box because they usually kind of like to go in the box. But I don't know. Or maybe Transformers happens, who knows. But I'm, like I said, I am patiently waiting for those visual effects polls to open up because, or not the polls, but the visual effects betting odds in these Oscar websites because, oh baby, I will win a lot of money by saying the creator wins. And I know people are saying, well, no one's seen the creator, no one cares about it, but it's it's not real. Wait, what was I would say? Oh yeah, that no one's seen the creator. I don't think it really matters because it doesn't really matter if you flopped. I mean, maybe not as much. First Man flopped, and that won visual effects. Christopher Robin didn't do very well at the box office. Yeah, that was nominated. So it's it doesn't really matter. This category is very weak. I don't like No Dune 2, No Party. I don't know what you mean by No Party. Pushed to March 2024. I don't think it's the worst. I think it's stronger than 2020 was. I mean, 2020 was literally just bottom of the barrel, Just like, are there any visual effects films out that year? That's really what it was more like. That, like, so yeah. But this year is better. And that's also one of the reasons why I think another reason why I don't think Oppenheimer gets nominated is because Oppenheimer has fewer visual effects shots than Welcome to Chechnya and Mank, and those came out in a way worse year for visual effects than this year, and they did not get nominated. And the visual effects branch is just not going to care if Oppenheimer is the big best picture juggernaut, because it's just not a visual effects achievement. It's like the most you got is like one explosion. I've already seen visual effects artists criticize that by saying it doesn't look like a real nuke. So there's that. Anyways, best sound. Let's talk about best sound, everyone. We got Oppenheimer, Ferrari, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Zone of Interest, The Color Purple. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tempted to put in Maestro, but the problem is I don't know what would get in. I don't know, or I mean, like, I don't know what I would have to take out, because all of these have such a good argument. Oppenheimer, it's just gonna win. Ferrari, it's a racing film. Killers of the Flower Moon, there's literally like a whole teleplay scene at the end of the film that is just a showcase for sound design. Like, how does that not get nominated? The Zone of Interest, I think, is going to be that big surprise nominee where it's like, oh my god, this movie is like this. Where like the sound design. Wait, what? Hold on. I don't like Naiad, but it should get visual effects. What? I don't even agree with that. It's like the visual effects I thought were just kind of weird in the movie, and like had no place in it all. It's like, and it's not very innovative in terms of visual effects. It's just, I don't know. I don't agree. I don't agree. Naiad does not need. I don't think Naiad needs visual effects at all. My top 5 for best sound: Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Zone of Interest, Ferrari, The Killer. The Killer maybe could happen. Like, I did see The Killer. The sound in that movie is really good. Please, The Killer gets in for sound. I'm a David Fincher fan. The sound in The Killer was the best part. I really did like the sound in The Killer, although there is just a lot of competition, and I'm already like, it's really tough. Oh my god, this could not be any different. Mission Impossible 7, Gran Turismo, Indy, Sisu and the Creator. Ooh. That's literally the bottom of my list. You don't think Oppenheimer's gonna get nominated? You don't think Oppenheimer's getting in? Like, forget about Killers of the Flower Moon, Zone of Interest, Color Purple. Oppenheimer's supposed to win this award. What? Whoa. That is the craziest top 5 I've seen ever. Like, I think The Killer's happening. They nominated sometimes streaming movies like Greyhound or Power of the Dog. I don't think the streaming thing matters, and plus with Greyhound, it's also like, it was 2020. 2020 was, again, it's kind of, for a lot of the big techs, I mean, you know, I don't think Greyhound would have gotten in if we still had Dune, Top Gun Maverick, and No Time to Die that year. So I don't know if I want to count Greyhound. And The Power of the Dog was really strong in Best Picture. That's another thing. It was very, very strong in Best Picture. So I don't know. I don't know about that. The Killer, I think, again, it's not impossible. Okay. Oh, okay, I was kidding. I was about to say, I was about to say, what? The same 5. Oh my god. That was like, because like, how does anyone think Oppenheimer does not win after like that? Like, especially that scene where he's talking with that crowd, and I'm not gonna say exactly what the scene is, but it's like, that scene where he's talking with the crowd and like he's cheering, like they're cheering him on, and you know what happens? That is the scene that wins the movie best sound. Like, that is the scene. But yeah, but the problem is Maestro has a very good, compelling case to make as well. And The Killer, I would like that. I just don't know if it's that strong. And plus, like, it's also tough to, like, what do you take out? Because this seems like a very, very solid 5 that would get in. I don't think Spider-Man's happening. It needs to be in Best Picture for that to happen, I think. But yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. I do think Sisu makes the top 10 because I do think Sisu makes the top 10 in the shortlist because it is like all the sound in that film was replaced in post. So yeah. Original score. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Oh hell no. Oppenheimer's locked to get nominated. They nominated sometimes Nolan movies like The Dark Knight. How not 10 it gets in? It's like, I don't think Mission Impossible is happening either. And there has been no Mission Impossible. There has been no Mission Impossible movie that ever got nominated for Best Sound. None of them did. At least I don't think. And so why would the one that performed arguably the worst do that? No. I don't think Mission Impossible gets in. Hell, I don't even think it gets shortlisted. Anyways, original score. I have Oppenheimer, Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny, Past Lives, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Wonka. You're probably wondering, why do I have Wonka in here? Like, maybe you can understand why I'm going with Indiana Jones. Especially since it just got the Grammy nomination, which is a pretty good start. But again, Wonka is a live-action musical. Like La La Land got into Best Score. What was it? Mary Poppins Returns got into Best Score. I do think Wonka could probably get into Best Score, especially if it's liked just enough. If it's liked just enough, then it could get in. My top 5 for original score: Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Poor Things, Elemental, Past Lives. Admittedly, I am very concerned over Killers because the music is very spread out in the film. It is really, really, really spread out. And also, Martin Scorsese's movies don't get nominated for score a whole lot. They don't really get nominated a whole lot. I mean, hell, even The Irishman was deemed ineligible because there wasn't enough original music. So it's like, it's kind of tough. Like, I think right now I'm thinking Killers of the Flower Moon could get it in, but who knows? Honestly, man, there's so much that could happen. Elemental could easily happen. Elemental could happen. And maybe if it turns out Killers of the Flower Moon is not eligible, I will definitely put in Elemental. Why Indy at 2, John Williams' other scores were not top 2 for score? I'm saying in terms of I'm talking about like in terms of like nominations mainly. It's like I think, I mean, obviously, yeah, it's not going to win, but it's like, I don't, like, this would, the thing is, like, I could see, the thing is, there are some question marks as to whether or not Past Lives could get in. Killers, there's some questions. Wonka, questions. The problem, like, with Indiana Jones, I don't think there is a question that it's getting nominated. So it's like, I think Indiana Jones, like, I don't think it's number 2 to win, but it's just like, it's the only other kind of lock I can think of right now, because I don't think any of the others are necessarily locks. Like, there's a lot of, I think Killers has to be 2. I don't know. That's what, like I said with the whole Martin Scorsese thing, like, his movies do not get nominated for score a whole lot. And that's also why I'm kind of apprehensive about Poor Things, because I don't know how much original music is in that film. So it's like, I just don't know about Poor Things. Like, I do need to see the movie. But again, I think it just might end up being what people don't want to get nominated. Like, I just really think Indiana Jones is going to happen. And I know what, like, some people have said, well, it's like, people have said, well, what was it? John Williams didn't get nominated for The Post. It's like, you're right, he didn't get nominated for The Post, but he got nominated for Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which came out the exact same year. So that was kind of the reason why the Post didn't get nominated for score. So yeah, I think Oh, TMNT score so bombastic. Look, again, preach. If the, like, I want Ninja Turtles to get in. Like, it is maybe, like, aside from Oppenheimer, the best score of the year. Like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the score by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross is so freaking good in every way. But I know for a fact they won't touch that. Even though it deserves it. It's like, it's, honestly, I think it's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's best score ever. I think it's better than The Social Network. I think it's better than Gone Girl, better than Soul. This, like, their score for Ninja Turtles is so freaking good in every way. It's like, it is just, like, really, it's action, it's sound, like, the action score is great. The somber scenes are really good. It is just a terrific score. Unbelievable score. I love it so much. I'm not predicting anything Alexander Desplat does because he's been snubbed 3 years in a row, and for some reason they hate this guy now. If he did not even get in for Pinocchio, even though he got nominated everywhere for that, they have something against Alexander Desplat or something, because like that's just weird. But yeah, I think right now we are all in agreement that Oppenheimer's winning score. But yeah. Best original song. This is really hard because it's like I think we may get an animated nominee. Everything minus the top two seems open to change. Hold on, we'll get to that here in a bit. I do think Killers gets in though. Right now I have Killers of the Flower Moon in score, but we'll have to see. I'm Just Ken better win this. Like, that is like the best song of the year so far. Like, I'm Just Ken is so goofy, so funny, and also does really well for like the character of Ken and stuff. Like, it's really good. If What Was I Made For wins over it, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be a little bit disappointed. Like, I have come around to liking What Was I Made For, but not over I'm Just Ken. Like, I'm Just Ken needs to win this. Like, it is the most fun song of the year. It's like, oh my god. Gonna Be You from 80 for Brady. If you do not have this in your top 5, I don't know what you're thinking, because, like, Gonna Be You. How many Grammy nominations did Barbie get? I think it was 11. I think it got 11, which is kind of nuts. That's yeah. I don't think it's going to get into score because I have a feeling it might not be eligible because there's a lot of soundtrack in the movie. But if you have your original song predictions, you need to put in Gonna Be You from 80 for Brady. Why? Diane Warren. Her songs always get in. Even if it's like the most nothing burger movie, what is it? Diane Warren is like John Williams. She always gets in. Right? Like, she always gets in. She always finds her way in. Even if it's something like remember there was this song that she did called Applause from the movie Tell It Like a Woman. No, I had checked when the nominations came out. No one had I looked on Rotten Tomatoes. Not one critic reviewed that movie. Not one critic had reviewed Tell It Like a Woman before that film got nominated for a song. Like, even if no one has seen your movie, she will get nominated for it. They need to stop nominating her. I mean, that's her. Granted, I'm not really the biggest fan of her songs, but it's just it's just crazy. But you have to agree with me. Like, 80 for Brady's getting nominated for this. just imagine that Oscar nominee 80 for Brady. That is really funny. But it's absolutely going to get nominated for this. It's absolutely going to get nominated for this. This Wish from Wish. I finally listened to this song. Not it's weird. The instrumentals of the song are really good, but the lyrics are just kind of lacking. But it's probably going to get in anyway. Weirdly enough, I think there's a world where Wish, if it does get good reviews, gets a nomination for animated feature but not song. That would be weird, but we'll get to animated feature when we get to that. And A World of Our Own from Wonka. This is me banking on the idea that this is going to be not only, because I do think it's going to be better than people think. I think Wonka is going to be a better movie than people think. And again, live action musical. Like, this could very well, if it's good enough like Mary Poppins Returns, like, it could get costumes, it could get score, it could get song. So we'll have to see. Road to Freedom from Rustin. That's going to get nominated. I mean, no, it's not. It's going to get nominated maybe like either Golden Globe or Critics' Choice, but it's like, I listened to the song. It is a nothing burger. It is like the most generic, like, civil rights song I've, like you would ever hear. Like, it literally pulls lyrics from the song Glory from Selma. Like, when the war is won and stuff. It's like, god damn, like, really? Like, I don't think Road to Freedom is going to get in. No. Am I Dreaming from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse? Honestly, the rest of these, I don't even know, where I'm ranking them. Like 7 through 13. Just consider that a random order, because I don't know what in the world is happening. Keep It Moving from Color Purple. Dance the Night from Barbie. I really like Dance the Night. Dance the Night's really fun. Quiet Eyes Calling. Steal the Show. From Elemental. Peaches from the Mario movie. I don't even like Peaches from the Mario movie. I don't like the Mario movie, but I would like to see that happen. Glory winning over Everything Is Awesome Is Stupid. I don't think it was stupid. Like, that was like one of the, like, that was a civil rights song that actually did stand out to me. And it was very timely, because there was that was like the first emergence of like the first time we started seeing the Black Lives Matter movement, which is pretty important. It's like it was a very important song. It actually was done really well. The problem is every like civil rights song after that just tried to copy it. It's like, oh, we're gonna be a civil rights song, and we're just gonna try to be Glory. It's like, I think it's really more of a history kind of thing, where it's just like, oh man, like everyone just tried to copy Glory. But I would have actually voted for Glory over Everything Is Awesome. Even though I love Everything Is Awesome, Glory was actually a really phenomenal song, I will say. But yeah, even though I would love to see Peaches nominated, like, it's not, I don't think it's going to happen. Even though Jack Black would become an Oscar nominee for that, because he was one of the writers of the song. My top 5 for song: Barbie, 2 Barbie songs: Wish, Flamin' Hot, Trolls Band Together. I don't know about, okay, Flamin' Hot, like, that is also Diane Warren. I don't know, I feel like 80 for Brady's gonna be the more accessible one, and it would also be kind of the funniest one, because like 80 for Brady. Animated non-musicals with large lyrical soundtracks seem to go 50-50 with the Oscars. Despicable Me didn't get in, but its sequel did. I can see where you're going with this. But the problem is, like, I don't know. Like, Happy was like the biggest hit, and like everyone loved Happy. Like, even Weird Al parodied it. I don't know if Peaches is big enough. I don't know if Peaches is big enough. Like Peaches is like a joke in the movie. It's like a joke in the movie. Whereas with like Happy, it was in a sense, I'm Just Ken is also a joke, but it was also like kind of narratively like even more narratively important. I don't know. It's weird. What's your most anticipated movie for 2024? Dune, probably Dune Part 2. So yeah. Let's see. And then animated feature. Once again, I must reiterate, unless Wish is way better than we expect, Disney is getting shut out. I know there's some passion for Elemental, but it is not a great movie. It is like around the 75%-ish on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not great. Look at the following Disney movies that got snubbed for animated feature. uh, what was it? Monsters University. And that was in a weak year and it didn't get nominated. The Good Dinosaur. Cars 3. Frozen 2. Strange World. You will get snubbed if you are not like at least like high 80s on Rotten Tomatoes or above. Like if you're like not high 80s, you get snubbed. Like you just don't get in. My top 5 for animated feature: Spider-Man, The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Wish, Chicken Run, Dawn of the Nugget. Oh man, like banking on both Disney movies. Again, Wish would have to be like a big surprise for me to predict it. Pranks and Cats. No, you don't. You don't think Elemental's win. Okay, now I know for a fact you're screwing with me. You don't actually think Elemental's winning. No way in hell. No, no. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're being a little sneak. You're being a sneak. Spider-Man movie, anime movie, 2 Disney movies, and a stop motion movie. That's very specific. That's a very. I don't think that's a good stat to go off of. It's like, oh well, these guys like no. I think. No, you're no, not falling for it. Not falling for it. But yeah. I'm worried TMNT might end up like the Lego Batman movie or the Sponge Out of Water, where it's arguably top 3 most acclaimed animated movies of its year, but it still won't get in. Sponge Out of Water, that movie was not really well acclaimed. Like, people didn't really like that movie. I mean, I loved it. I loved Sponge Out of Water. Oh wait, no, wait. Oh no, yeah, we are talking about. Oh no, we are talking about the second film, Sponge Out of Water. It was pretty well acclaimed, but it wasn't like one of the most critically acclaimed animated films that year. Like 2015 was pretty stacked. Like you had Inside Out, Shaun the Sheep movie, when Marnie was there, Anomalisa, like boy, I think maybe Boy in the World, but it's like that, I don't know. Like, I don't think Sponge Out of Water was never going to get nominated because it was not that critically acclaimed. Now, I get what you're saying with Lego Batman, but I think that, with, I don't know, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I think has a greater incentive. I mean, I don't know. I think Ninja Turtles has a greater incentive because it is from, like, the co-director of The Mitchells vs. the Machines. And but like the problem, like again, I just don't think Elemental and Wish are going to be considered good enough. I mean, at the very least, I know for a fact Elemental's not going to be good enough to get nominated. Hell, I'm so confident in this that even if Elemental got everything, Globe, Critics' Choice, PGA, Annie, BAFTA, I would still not predict it for the Oscar, just like with Frozen 2. Frozen 2 got everything it needed, and yet it couldn't even crack the Oscar 5. The Boy and the Heron should win. Have you seen The Boy and the Heron? I need to know if you've seen The Boy and the Heron, because I don't know if it's out yet. But I think, obviously, Spider-Verse is going to win this. And I don't know why people aren't taking Nimona seriously. It's like, it has very good reviews on Run. It has very good reviews. I think Nimona, it has everything going for it. Like, it's creative, it's funny, it has a very, there's a really dark kind of, but also very good message in the film. I feel like it just has everything that it needs. Like, it's going to be the Sea Beast. Yeah, exactly. Pranks and Cats. Nimona is the Sea Beast. Elemental and Wish are this year's Incredibles 2 and Wreck-It Ralph. Not Elemental, at least. Incredibles 2 got over 90%, and Wreck-It Ralph was in the high 80s. Elemental couldn't even crack into the 80s, so no. I know there's a really good box office story with this film, but the fact of the matter is, it is just not It is just not well received enough to get a nomination. It's just not that well received. But yeah, let's see. But yeah, I'm looking out for Robot Dreams. The Peasants, I feel like, is also not really doing great with reviews right now. I was worried about Chicken Run, but the reviews are getting a little better. The reviews are getting better. But again, it's also Aardman, and they also nominate them. They always nominate them, so it's kind of, yeah. Robot Dreams, Suzume, yeah. And then, and let's see, what's it? Are you gonna do documentary too? Probably not. Probably not gonna do documentary. I don't know enough about the documentary category, so there is that. But for international feature, this is what I have. Let's see. Oh yeah, international feature. We have The Zone of Interest. It's winning. It's in Best Picture. Like, let's just not beat around the bush here. Perfect Days, The Taste of Things. For some reason, no one has 20 Days in Mariupol. No one has 20 Days in Mariupol. Like, even on the Next Best Picture website, only one of them had it in their top 10. I'm like, why is no one predicting this film? Everything that I've been reading about 20 Days in Mariupol, it's like screaming for, like, not only to win documentary feature, but like the nomination. Like the nomination itself, like people aren't even predicting 20 Days in Mariupol, despite this being Ukraine's submission for international feature. And it's not like it's ineligible, I'm assuming, because it's like, they've nominated documentaries in international feature before, like with Honeyland. So I don't know. This is weird. I think like 20 Days in Mariupol is getting nominated because it would be really weird if it didn't. And The Monk and the Gun, I'm going off of what the Oscar expert said. It's like this is from like the same director as Luana, A Yak in the Classroom, and this is even more critically acclaimed. So it's like, all right, I'll trust that. Then there's also Promised Land, Society of the Snow, about dry grasses. I don't think The Peasants is getting in with those kind of reviews. I'm kind of wondering if The Taste of Things is this year's Drive My Car. I don't think so. If The Zone of Interest is this strong, like. If The Zone of Interest is this strong in international feature, and plus, I think there's also a case to be made that The Zone of Interest is this year's Drive My Car, because it also is very experimental. At least from what I'm hearing, it's like very experimental. So it's like, yeah, I think the Drive My Car is just going to be The Zone of Interest. To my top 5 for international feature: The Zone of Interest, Perfect Days, Taste of Things, Society of the Snow, and Monk and the Gun. Hey, that's not a bad 5. I'm just really thinking, I'm really wondering if I just don't know why people are not predicting 20 Days in Mariupol. If it's that strong in documentary, why would it not why would it not be strong in international feature as well? That sounds very weird to me. But regardless, people, those are the predictions. And those were your predictions. If you have anything else to say them now, because we're about to wrap up the stream and stuff. Yeah, like I said, we're about to wrap up the stream and stuff. But before we get to lots of your comments, I will say I do have memberships open for $4.99 a month. You can join, get member shoutouts, member exclusive live chats, member requested reviews for movies and stuff. Like if you want me to review an old movie, I can do that, and you'll get badges and emojis and stuff. Yeah, all that kind of fun stuff. Like, wait, hold on. There is always a movie that gets nominated for international and documentary. I don't know about always, but it's like it has happened before. I think it's happened a couple times. Or 3 times. Probably 3 times, I think. But, like, Uh, but yeah, I do. 20 Days in Maripool. I think people might be underestimating that. Again, I haven't. Granted, I have not seen that, so maybe I'm just talking out of my ass. But we'll have to see about that. But yeah, again, what like I said, does anyone else have any kind of thank you very much. You're welcome. Goodbye. All right. Going to college. Oh boy, college. I never went to college. I couldn't afford it. Rip. Did you see Timmy on SNL? I didn't watch SNL, but I've seen like stuff online. But I did see, there was like apparently he was in a skit where he literally looks like Shane Top from Smosh. Where he literally looks like Shane Top from Smosh, like blonde hair, really buff. Like it's kind of funny. Mm. Mm. But yeah, guys. Does anyone else have anything else to say before we go? Soda. All right. Oh, yeah, is there gonna be someone for your December Oscar predictions? Why, yes, there is. Yes, there is. Like I said, if you watch my previous Oscar predictions video, there's little hints. There's little hints. Like if you watch all the way through and you put the pieces together, you put the puzzles to, like, I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's pretty clear that what's like who it's gonna be. I've already revealed who it's gonna be. It's not the film drunk. It's not the film drunk. But I won't say who it is. Again, I've technically already revealed who it is in the previous predictions video. You just have to watch it and see if you see anything flash up on screen. Take note of those. That's all I'll say. Take note of those. Take note of those, and see if you can put the pieces together. All right, all right. I'm gonna go now, everyone. I'm gonna go now, everyone. Bye.